Welcome, citizens, once again to Warda. We thank you so much for being here tonight. We are once again here on Tuesday night, here in the Pocket Dimension, preparing ourselves for another foray into the wonderful world of Warda. First off, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming. We're up on episode 7 on this, and is there an ad playing? Okay, we'll wait. Unless other people are not wearing. No, you're fine. And are we good? Are we still going? Yeah. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, guys.
We all got hit with an ad right
Ads. That's what happens. Thank you so much for being here. And it's funny, like I said, we're on the 7th episode of this, and I still get nervous. So, right before we start, I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay.
But this is a new thing. So
I almost died last time, so I'm
a little bit nervous.
We're beyond that.
You
guys almost made me lose my wings.
I let the chat decide what he broke, and people were like, "Wings! He loses his wings!"
I'm thankful you guys didn't.
Oh my God! The chat gods in this game are
ruthless.
Are a fierce and awesome bunch.
Speaking of which, we are joined tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have Embalar Ardeo with us tonight. He's out doing a thing. But instead, we have the wonderful and charismatic Kate Booth with us tonight.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
So what we like to do is to go around and
Killing it.
One moment.
Killing it.
we like to go around and let everyone know who we are and who you're going to be playing tonight, and then tell us what you are doing. You, Kate Booth.
Okay.
What's something you're doing and where we can find you online in
Sure.
the great world that is the artist.
Absolutely. So my name is Kate Booth, and recently I just appeared for the first time in my exhibition match for the Dungeon Dome.
Dungeon Dome!
With Ali Grauer and the Ladies' Disdain!
You can go to YouTube and actually watch that right now. Oh, no, not YouTube. You can,
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
And
so
on Twitch stream still.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Please, boys. #
Jordan is
sign up
correct.
more.
You guys did crush it.
Yes, thank you. I'm an actor and a fight choreographer and a director here in Chicago. I am playing tonight Grettie Buschelcroft, who is a Brownie spelunker for hire. So I'm very excited to come and join your game.
Thank you so much, Kate.
Yeah.
Frank, who are you going to be playing? And give us a bit about who you're playing, who you are, and stuff like that.
Hi. Well, I'm Frank. I am also an actor, doing all the acting things in the city. I'm going to be in a one-night performance of Ordinary Days. If you want to see it, July 12th. There are limited seats, but you can check it out on eclectictheater.com. I think there's a dash between the eclectic and theater.
Theater.
I think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but you can find that stuff. July 12th, check it out. I am playing Tippin. Tippin is a pixie. He is a pixie collector specifically. He likes knowledge and kind of just wants to know everything and is very curious about everything, and it gets him into trouble sometimes. So.
As it totally should. That's the pixies are made for trouble.
Oh yeah.
They're also made for servitude. But
Pixie names matter, guys.
Yeah, pixie names matter.
Amy, tell us a little about you and who you're playing.
My name is Amy, and I'm playing Owin, and she is a dandy curiosity shop owner who also fences a little bit on the side, so she's known to go out and get stuff for people and be the one to go to for people to get stuff that they need. And I'm also an actor in Chicago and a filmmaker in Chicago, so I'm just swimming in post-production right now, so I'm not doing anything else. Oh, I started one of those latch hook crafty things.
Oh, nice.
It's
nice.
2 birds. I'm really excited. I know. I'll bring pictures.
Can we have the birds guest star?
Oh, yes, of course. I have 2 little birds. We should have them guest star. They can just run around. Oh, they'd be so scared.
Oh my gosh, I want to be with them so much.
They're very cute. I love them dearly.
It's a special night for us to be here with Warda. Since we are down Embalar tonight, we're going to take a step back.
Or like
Jump
6
back.
steps back.
What?
Jump back.
We're gonna jump back. And we're going to go to about 2 to 3 weeks before the game before Curiosities actually start. So it's going to be a game just with Tippin and Owin and Grettie. And where they came from. And we're really excited to have Kate, because Kate is she's known about Warda for a very long time.
Top secretly.
Top secretly. So
Hush.
the whole year that we kind of built Warda, we did it through a game, much like this, with a group of players. And who did you play in that, Kate?
So I'm going to say, because it's still an ongoing event. And I played Gist, who is a pixie. She's known as the fastest pixie in Warda. She actually has a really high reputation for a young little pixie. She's assigned to work for the wardens. So she does a lot of message carrying for the lawmakers, and sometimes tells them not things that they don't need to know about in Gist's opinion, because there are top secret political things happening that she wants to make happen. So.
Is all that. So the game that she's talking about is called Winds of Change, or Warda Winds of Change. Well, this is Warda Curiosities, that's Warda Winds of Change. And that takes place 10 years after all of this happens, all of Curiosities. We actually have it all recorded. And if you are interested, if you jump on that Patreon, which Ali will be putting the link in the chat real quick, you can go, and we're gonna start turning those into actual podcasts, so you can start listening to what happens 10 years after what's going on here. It's gonna be very, very interesting. But as we start out, I'd like to give all my thank yous. First of all, thanks to my actors here for showing up. Without these guys, this would just be a bunch of weird people sitting in a basement.
Actually, with
Still
us,
is.
it's a
It
bunch
still
of weird people.
is. It still is.
But we're weird people with charisma.
And training.
So much training.
So much.
We got to thank JJ on the ones and twos tonight.
Yeah, JJ.
Without JJ, we're just sitting here again in the dark.
In the dark.
Being
Weird
weird.
people in the dark.
And who else am I thinking? Oh, I got to thank Ali, she's in the chat tonight. If you guys got questions, comments, concerns about anything we're talking about, feel free to jump in and talk to Ali.
Yes.
She'll be happy to answer your questions. She's going to put down the welcometowarda. If you are new to Warda, you can go to welcometowarda.com, and we have all the information there. And last but not least, we have to thank James D'Amato and the One Shot Podcast Network, because without them, we would actually just be in the street. Just talking to ourselves.
Not even in a basement.
Not even in a basement.
We wouldn't even have a basement.
or any of the great sound equipment, or the table, or
Yeah,
anywhere
we'd
to
have
make
this,
this
though.
thing.
We'd have this.
Oh yeah, it'd be like us shooting dice in an alleyway. And we'd be like, yeah, so I hit him.
Decent roll.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent roll too. So we thank James. If you are interested and are interested in any of the things that James and the One Shot Podcast Network do, please go to their Patreon. They're doing a Patreon drive right now. They're trying to get to $7,500, I believe, and they're very close. They're very, very close to it. If you want to go and join right now at the $5 mark, you can hear me as a honey badger playing Honey Heist.
What?
There's a game called Honey Heist where you play a bear.
Oh no.
And the bear is stealing honey from HoneyCon 2017. And you have 2 stats, and you roll 2d6s, and your stats are bear and criminal. And so you go and play a bear, and you can go listen to that whole game that I did. It was for a birthday game that
For
James
only
said.
$5.
For only $5, you can hear me play Winston the honey badger. He's a hacker. I'm just gonna leave it there. So again, thank you to James. Thank you to the One Shot Network. Thank you to everybody.
Yeah.
And most of all, thank you to you guys for showing up every week and being dedicated to this. Please go out there, tell your friends about Warda. It's only going to get better from here on out. We got some great things planned, a lot of really cool things that are happening in the future. Okay, real quick with business. We got new stuff on the page right now. On welcometowarda.com, we had to revamp. We had to add a guild actually, and we added the Education Guild. So there's a brand new sheet for the Education Guild and how learning works in Warda. We had to revamp the ages. I don't think that's up yet.
Oh.
But we had, not that we revamped them, but what we did is we were getting, not complaints, but we were getting feedback that people were having a hard time understanding the ages of Fae and how it really worked.
Not the ages as in like time zones, the ages
No,
of like, I'm 32.
I'm 32, but being 32 means I'm 116.
Got it, got it.
And but the problem is that an Ifriti and a Johnny, even at the same age, are not in the same place in their life because everyone has different lifespans.
Yeah.
And my answer to that was the like firm artist who was like, well, you just don't understand because they're not human. And so I was like, but we probably need to equate it into humans since humans are the people who are looking at this. So we went back and we put it down in like, this is what it means in human terms. So we have that. That hasn't gone up yet, but it's going to go up next week. And last but not least, we have a whole page for the second ward. So we have the entire second ward has been
Nice.
talked about now,
Cool.
which includes Guildhall and Poshway, where all the Casino Royale things happen. Okay, and so every week what we like to do, before we begin jumping into the adventure, we like to do a getting to know our characters type thing. We've asked questions ranging from what was your first fight to, what's your favorite type of weather, like that sort of thing. Today, thanks to everyone's asking, we're going to do, last but not least, romance. So I would love each of our characters to talk about their first romance and how it went. Let's start with Tippin.
Well, Tippin is very young. So I guess romance-wise, he hasn't had like a fling or anything that has happened. But he has had a couple crushes. Let's see. The most obvious crush that he's had was Remy, which you guys learned a little bit about last week. His mentor that died in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know about Remy yet. It's fine. You'll learn. But that's kind of like one of the first, like
romantic,
people, romantic things, for
feelings.
Tippin.
Yeah.
Like feelings happen there. Other than that, like Tippin hasn't had like romance. He's had like people that he's been drawn to, but no one that he's been like, I want to,
I want to create little
I want
fairies
to
with
create
you.
little pixies with that pixie. Like he hasn't
Or
had
just
that.
have fun. Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Grettie.
Oh, well, I suppose that my first love was...
Real quick, how old is Grettie?
Oh, well, they all sort of blend together after a long time, but if I do the math, I think that my actual age is right around 154.
What does that equate into human years
Oh,
for our human audience?
I suppose that if I were a human on the surface world, I would probably be somewhere in my 60s.
Very nice, very nice.
So
tell us about Grettie's first love.
So I think really my first love was exploration. And, I have to admit that I was a bit of an introvert as a child. And I didn't really know too many other brownies or other fae for that matter to have romantic feelings for. And I might actually go so far as to say that I haven't found one yet in my time, but that's all right. There's a very nice man that provides tea when I go shopping, and he also helps me get my groceries. His name is Tom.
Chat, your job is to create Tom. And last but not least, Owin. Tell us about your first love, Owin.
Well, I wasn't really interested in like romance growing up. I was more interested in like in discovering things and playing outside and learning, going to school. So I didn't go on my first date was with Sandir Chundali.
Oh.
And he was my first boyfriend too. And, you know, that happened. And
I mean, if you're gonna start, you might as well start perfectly. Like,
yeah, that's what a lot of people say, that he's perfect and whatever. But I'm not really interested in romance too much. It's like, I have to really know somebody in order to be romantically inclined towards them. So it's just not a thing.
so
Too much.
we're a very asexual and aromantic bunch.
Yeah.
But there's nothing
But-
wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that. No, not at all. It's all fine. But really, so interesting. I find that interesting about
Sandir was
Sandir.
I mean, he's a handsome guy.
A handsome guy.
That's what,
Right. He's the most beautiful Nayari man
I
in
love
the
him.
city.
he's the most beautiful Nayati man in the city, is what.
That's.
I haven't
that's
even
just the
seen
truth.
him and I love him.
I mean, in honor of Sandir.
Oh no.
He has theme music.
It's
just
whenever anyone mentions
Yeah. Sandir.
Do you hear that? Is it just me? Do you hear that?
No,
I
that's the sound of your
swear.
heart in your throat. That's.
I don't hear much except me heart pounding.
Oh, look at him. Anyway.
Oh
How
boy.
did he get so many trumpets?
He just has them following around, actually. He has a gramophone that he just like places in places and then turns it on and then goes and does
But
his
it's always
thing.
like around the corner, so
Yeah.
no one else sees it.
Where is that?
Tippin's going to find that.
Okay, but yeah, so we've had
One
fun.
more teeth.
Then he should. I've also heard he looks like he's the Channing Tatum.
And his mustache gets mysteriously bristly at the ends when he is talking about Grettie.
Oh.
Is he another brownie? I think he's another brownie. Like I think he's.
I would say so, but it's also completely up to the chat. I feel like I'm more interested in what's underneath his skin than on top of it.
Got a little kilt.
He might have a little kilt, yes.
Yeah.
It's very utilitarian.
All right, so we've talked about everything else. We've talked about the Patreon. Again, guys, thank you so much. Without you and your support, we can't do any of this. And we want to keep growing this thing. We want it to get bigger and bigger and bigger and have more people come up. And if you join the Patreon, you get to be canon in this world. That's the idea of Warda to begin with, is that it's not just something that we like have and we're going to keep and it's ours. It's a world where you guys get to live as well. So jump into the Patreon, create your characters, write fan art, draw fan art, write fan fiction, create characters. If you want to be canon, you're gonna have to go drop into the Patreon and be a part of that. But Warda's for you as much as it is for us, and that's kind of the important part of it. All right, just a quick final reminder. We're gonna start here in a second. But just a reminder that we are off next week for the 4th of July. So this will be we're going to have this game, and then we won't have a game next week, and we'll have a game the following week, and you are gone?
I will not be there.
You
Yeah.
will not be there for that one. So it might be another filler episode
Guest performer!
Yay!
with another guest performer on the 11th. But after that, we'll get back to our regular scheduled adventure where we find out what the heck is happening with Ishara. After that bombshell that was dropped
Awesome
last.
box. That's right. That was the.
Oh my gosh.
They learned some pretty awesome stuff.
Thoughts?
Okay, so, let's start it out. All right, we're back. Okay, everyone. You guys ready?
Ready?
All right, let's start this thing out. As always, I want you guys to picture it, that you are high above the city of Amangrad. It's nighttime. The moon is big and full in the sky. There's thousands of millions of stars blanketing the entire sky above us. and we look down at the city, and it's dark down there, but it's a patchwork of light. As we see the middle part is full of flickering little flames, which is the city. And as it gets further out, it gets darker and darker with little bits of sparkles here and there. And then it hits a border wall, and then it's dark from there on. And as we're high above in the sky, we begin to move down slowly. We get to fly our way through clouds towards the moon, and we're not going straight down. We're kind of heading off to the side, and we're heading towards the high mountains. And as we're just about to get to the mountains, we kind of dive down, and we dip down, and we come to a giant lake, almost like an inland sea, with the moon shimmering on the water. And it's in this, everything's in these deep blues and indigos and violets with the silvery moon in the background. And we close up on a little boat in the middle of this lake. It's being powered by magic. There's just one person at the back, and they have their hand in the water. And the boat is slowly moving silently through the waves. And it passes by like a security buoy. It's like bobbing up and down, and we hear the ding, 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 ding. And there's a light that goes around and like looks over this way and looks over that way. And they go very quiet, and everybody gets low into the boat. And it's all shadowy. We can't see who's in it. Everyone gets low, and the boat even like kind of sinks a little bit into the water.
Nice.
And they like go underneath the light and then come back up. And they keep going for a little while, and eventually they come to a small little island. And in the distance, you can actually see the camera is panned for them away from the mountains. So you see the lake, they're coming up on this island, and then far in the distance, there's a bigger island which looks like a manor house, like on the top of it. We go up, and we put the camera on the bow of the boat as it scrapes up against the shoreline. And out of the boat jumps 2 feet, and then 2 smaller little feet. And we hear the flutter of wings. And these shadowy figures move into this like dense jungle. And we can see and feel, we can almost feel the humidity and the heat that they're in this tropical kind of jungle as they kind of move through it. And with the light filtering through the trees. And as they go further into the jungle, they come to a little clearing with an ancient well. And the lead person goes over and stakes down a stake and ties a rope to it. And everyone they're looking over the edge, and we can't see their faces yet, and they toss the rope in. And the little one jumps up there first and zips down, and then the bigger one goes and zips down, and then a pixie flies in after them. And the camera then immediately goes to the bottom, and we see that there's one spotlight of this silvery light, and then we see the little one drop, the big one drop, and then the pixie, and one of them reaches out and turns on a light, and we see that it's these 3. So, will you give us a description of what you look like?
I would love to. So, Grettie is a brownie, as I said, and she's 3 feet tall. She's very, very, very vole-like. So, she's sort of like a mole, and sort of like a gerbil, and sort of like a rabbit, and sort of like a mouse, but really she's just a vole. And she's much more animalistic, even than Brownie standards are. She's really not humanoid at all. Sort of Red Wall, Ian, for all you fantasy book lovers out there. And she has a neckerchief on and adventuring gear. And she's very fit for her age. And she has her eyes alight in the glow of the orb that she's holding, because she's very excited for what might be around the corner. And you hear her say out loud, "And that's why the rabbit goes around the tree before it goes down the hole, or your knot will never hold long enough, Owin."
Owin.
you've told me that story at least 3 times. I get it. I get it with the knots. I tried to learn the knots. Knots are not my thing, you know. They're your thing. That's why I've hired you to help me out with this. So.
One might say that they're not for everybody.
They're not. They're not for everybody.
Tell us what you look like, Owin.
And Owen rolls her eyes and like turns away and like looks around. And Owen has blue, she's tall and thin, boyish sort of features, and long blue-black hair that sort of like shines iridescent green in the light, piled on top of her head, and then a hat. And the hat has a little veil that comes down. And she has blue-green scales that start at her temples and go like down her neck and down her arms, sort of airbender style. Down her arms and then like down her back and down her legs. And she's wearing a brown coat with waves at the bottom, and they're a little dirty and like adventuring gear.
She's got her adventure clothes on.
Yeah, I've got my adventure. Yeah, they fit. Oh, they fit me nice. They're nice quality. I only wear nice things. They are
Just
tailored for me personally. And yeah, so I'm looking around in the light.
I'm gonna say you have a light source as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everyone's got like a
shine it
glow
over.
orb, and they're like looking around. And then we see Tippin. He's got like his own. He's got like a little one. And there's Tippin. So tell us what Tippin looks like.
Tippin is about 8.5 inches tall, so like as tall as a hand. And he has this mass of curly / wavy purple hair that just covers his head. And it's barely contained by a very homemade bowler hat. He has like greenish skin, but not like Alphaba from Wicked greenish. It's like the meat of an avocado greenish.
Oh.
Like that shade-ish, and like that's how like the colors change and all that kind of jazz. He wears also very homemade clothing. He has, can I say, he has a piece of string that he's fashioned that's almost like a whip.
Yes, of course you can.
That he's tied to his side. That he's fashioned himself. You can tell, like, he braided, like, a piece of string and, like, made it into what would be a pixie whip now. And it is on his side with him.
Very nice, very nice. So this game is going to take place a couple of weeks, actually, before Curiosities begin, which is a big difference for Tippin.
Yeah, Tippin looks a lot younger than he does in Curiosities. He probably looks like a teenager-ish.
Yeah.
Almost not like early teens. No, like I'm far less angsty. Like probably like 17 to 19 years old, rather than he looks like 25-ish right now. In the current game, so he's like 17 to 19
So he has an even
looking.
higher metabolism than usual.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, teenage pixies. Oh wow. I don't even know what that.
I'm a lot more energy.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. So you guys are at the bottom of this well, and you guys have actually landed in water at the very bottom. And so there's a lot of stone around where you are, but a section of the well has completely broken down, and it leads into this cavern, and the water is spilling out and leading downwards from there. And that's where you guys are right now. Is you guys are basically at the bottom of the well, and there's a big kind of cavern. It's actually rather low. It's just maybe like an inch or two taller than Owin is. So it's fine for you. But you kind of have to scrunch a little bit, Owin, to try to like be okay with being in here. And that's where you guys are right now. What do you do?
Go through the hole.
Okay, all right.
Let's go through the hole.
But before we do, remind me, Owen, what is it that we're looking for tonight?
Well,
That is a great question. All right. To which then Owin opens up her book. So you have like this.
Get it out.
You have your Grail
I have
diary.
like I have a satchel that I carry with me.
Of course you do. As you open the little book, and in it are a bunch of sketches of a cup, a chalice of some kind.
Oh.
And she shows it to you, and under it has the chalice of Amen, or you know, the chalice of light. There's a bunch of different names for it.
The chalice it's a cup.
It's a cup. It's
All
a
right.
cup. Do you listen when I tell you these things? Like back at the shop, when I say like this is the thing I'm looking for,
I
and
do.
these are my notes on I've been looking for.
I
Okay.
do listen.
Okay.
I do. Most of the time, I'm also getting distracted because I'm trying to keep you safe from the very dangerous things like rocks and water that could carry you away into this temple in a cave that's not far away from a very high house's vacation home. And I just think that it might be wise to exercise a bit of caution in our adventure.
We're exercising caution. We're exercising caution. Thank you. Thank you, Grettie. Thank you. This is why I hire you.
You're welcome. I'd like to take a look at the path ahead and see if it looks safe.
Go for it. Give me a notice.
I'm going to use my art of spelunkering.
All right, so you get a +2 to it.
Oh, I have to do it here. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Oh, it's not very good. So it's only a +1 to see if this path looks safe.
All right. It's a rather treacherous path in front of you.
Ooh.
So the cave goes downward. It's not a steep slope, but it's a steady downward, and the water is running down. So you can follow the water to where. So it's not difficult to find where this cavern is going to lead. You just need to follow the water. But it is a little treacherous as you're going.
Why is it treacherous? Just because it's like rocky?
It's
or-
rocky and it's wet. And it's humid down here too. It's a wet cave.
There's lots of mold that's had a very long time to grow.
I would like to try to put like a dam or something to like stop the water from flowing down so we can see better and walk better without the water.
Oh, cool, interesting. How do you want to do that?
So I'm thinking, so there's like just a hole and like an ice dam. Can I see where it's flowing? It's flowing from where we are down, right?
Yes, it's from where you are downward.
Okay. And it's coming through that hole.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, you can make that ice wall wherever
Yeah,
you want
I'll
to.
just ice wall the hole because I can just get rid of that hole later. if I
Okay,
want to,
awesome.
Right?
Roll an Arcanica.
Ooh.
That's a good roll.
That's a good roll. It is a 6.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna say that. Okay, so you go and you walk over to the wall, put your hand on it, and that geometry begins to like go out in the form of ice crystals.
In the middle of me talking about how dangerous it is, and it's very slippery, and there's lots of water in the way, and we have to exercise caution.
We've all gone through at this point, and you're like telling this as we're going through, and I'm just behind. What?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
sorry.
know she was following us.
Oh.
So you
I
put
thought she was
your
just
hand
falling
out, and
backward.
the geometry like starts to go out in the form of ice crystals, and then it goes and it covers that entire section of the wall in this sheet of ice. And at the end, you turn around and go, blow the last bits of the ice off, and that's all dammed up, and that water stops completely.
See, caution. I've exercised caution.
You never fail to impress me, Owen.
I know.
So now that the water is gone, I still would recommend exercise and caution, but I also say full speed ahead. Adventure is under there. Let us go.
That's what I like to hear.
So Grettie takes the lead as you guys start heading down, and it's a pretty average cave. I want each of you to give me a element of this cave, like something you notice about it. We'll start with Tippin.
Oh, Tippin looks up at the ceiling and he notices that there are tiny crystals embedded in some of the like stalactite type things.
Nice, and you notice that those crystals actually glow.
Oh, Tippin goes immediately to them.
Okay, so you get up to it and they're glowy crystals. So like you need the light for like spotlight things to like look at things, but if you turn them all off, it would be like starlight or moonlight in here. That's what you're seeing. What do you see, Owin?
There's like sea creatures that were on the rocks below that have like sucked themselves into shells and stuff because all of the water's
That's
gone,
really
and that's
cool.
how they survive. Is that if that should happen, they just like they can just suck themselves.
Yeah, the further you get into this cave, the more aquatic it begins to be.
No tide.
You get the sense that maybe there was like a low tide, like this could be a tide pool at some point.
Okay.
And what do you see?
So I think I noticed that they're having spelunkered into caves before. I think I noticed that this cave has very distinct natural elements and artificed elements.
Yes. Cool.
So there's a very clear distinction where like that is a natural stalagmite. And then you know how water erodes rock slowly over time? It is as though there was a large amount of humanoid or fey effort put into sculpting parts of the cave. Like there's very distinct things that could be a path. There's very distinct traces along the walls that look like they could be art almost. But it kind of seems to disappear and fade away. It's very, very, very old.
faint. Roll me a notice.
I'm not doing very well tonight so far, but it's a +2.
+2. With that +2, you notice this bits of art.
I lied. It's much better than that because I'm very good at noticing things. It's a +5.
Oh dear me. Okay, so
I forgot my regular bonus.
when you start looking at this, you begin to look and notice the architecture, and you lead the party down that direction.
Great.
And as you guys start heading down that particular direction, you start noticing that there's a snake motif that's happening. So like you'll come across a stalactite that's grown into a column, and there's like a snake carved into it as it curls around, and that begins to become in a lot of different places, along with the aquatic thing happening.
So before we go too far, Tippin wants to try and take one of the tiny crystals.
Yeah, roll me a physical here.
That's not awful. That's a 2.
2. I'm gonna say it's gonna take time. Like you'd have to get tools and kind of knock some of it out, and it might take a little while. You could get it, but
I notice that you're struggling, and I come on over, and from my one of my many packs that I have on, I take out, reach very, very deep. It's like any woman's purse. It's bottomless, and I pull out a tiny little tweezer, and I take it to the wall, and I take a tiny little hammer, and I go dink, 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 and then I pick it off, and I give it to you, and I go, there you go, love.
it's about the size of a softball in your hand.
My word, you have a lot of fuzz on the top of your head.
Yeah, it kind of grows.
Do you want me to carry that?
No.
You got it?
got it.
All right. Just, let
Cool.
me know. I got a bag here.
As you guys head further into the cave, and as it comes upon more and more of this snake motif, and you notice that the floors go from being coral-ish and rock-ish to being slabs of stone. Where you guys get closer and further, you get further and further into the cave, it becomes more of an edifice of some kind. And it all leads you to where everything stops, and there's just a chasm. And at the edge of that chasm, so you guys walk up and you hear of the wind coming from up in this chasm. And at the very edge of it, there is a scaffold and a pulley with a crank.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Let's try it out. Cool. Is it within? How does it? The chasm is here, and where's the pool?
So the chasm is. Oh, let me GM
Drew
this.
draws. Is that what it's called?
I think we're doing a Drew draws.
Drew draws.
Take a look. It's on a sheet of paper.
Drew's draws.
In a second. It's gonna take a minute.
Gonna take a
before it's
second.
drawn.
I like that. Oh, it's very thorny.
Here, let's show the.
Oh,
let's
sure.
show-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you close?
There's the chalice.
Yeah.
Here's the chalice. We'll...
Tippin draws, or Frank
Beautiful.
draws.
Frank draws. Hey, chat, you could draw things too and post them, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And it even it's like snake-like almost. too.
Like
And you didn't even
I
know
didn't
that
even
at
know
the
about
time.
the snake stuff. I just started making things. It's good.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a column here, and there's a column here.
All right.
And there's like a wall right there. So, that's what we're looking at here, guys.
And where are we?
You guys are right here.
All right.
Okay.
And it just goes straight down
So,
into the darkness.
let's just-
There's,
So the first thing I do is I grab a pebble. Well, not a pebble. I grab a bit of a larger rock, and I go to the edge and I drop it, and I turn my goggles on. I have these very extensive goggles, and I look down to see if I can track it and how long it takes it to drop.
Cool. So, it takes a good little while to drop. But it eventually does hit the bottom. Like there's a, and you can.
Oh, I can hear it.
Yes, you can hear it.
I walk up to the crank, and can I notice
Sorry. Go for it.
music playing
I'm
somewhere?
getting ambient sounds. Oh, yeah. No, I totally can. Sorry. But I want that on top of that. So.
Music.
Can't layer them.
No, I can if I have two things going.
Ooh,
That's good. That's good.
that is ominous.
Oh my gosh, now I'm scared.
A good little while is indeed a well-known measurement of brownie time.
Yes.
You know.
It's a good little while.
Okay, go for it. What were you saying?
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna walk up to the crank and crank it.
1126.
Should
Okay.
I roll for that?
Say again. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna.
I'm so
I
sorry.
no.
It's very technical. You guys.
No, but it's so good. Wait for the music.
We need a sound guild in Warda.
Oh, this is
Are there any sound technicians in Warda?
Okay. What do you want to do?
Actually, I want to inspect the crank to see if there's anything like weird about
Investigate
it.
it.
Yeah, or notice.
I
have
would
higher
like to
notice.
roll a Mechanica and do the same.
I'll
Go
roll
for
an
it.
Arcanica.
Yeah.
So I got a 7 for notice.
7 for notice.
I got 2 for Arcanica.
2 for Arcanica.
And I got a 5 for Mechanica. I rolled
Okay.
very well.
So your Arcanica, there's nothing arcane about this thing. It's
Perfect.
completely mundane. You were looking for what again?
Just anything weird about it, or if it like is broken. Or...
No, it's very well made. You can tell that it's old, like really, really old. The only magic thing you can get on it, like there's nothing magic about it except the fact that it's been preserved.
Is it human?
No.
Okay.
What'd you
it
get?
is
You get a
7.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's Nayati made.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like you notice that, and as you're looking at everything, you notice that all of this is basically Nayati made.
I was wondering.
So it's
Oh, sorry, should I have mentioned that?
I'm a half Nayati. I should have mentioned that to you.
Oh, yes, why didn't you
But
mention that
because
to me?
you know.
but
Already, Grettie.
The interesting thing about it is that you've done your research. This is old Nayati, like back to the founding of the city Nayati.
Wow.
It's like 5,000 years worth of history.
Can I roll an Academia to see if I know anything about like Nayati and snakes
Sure,
and
sure.
a relationship between the two? That's a 4.
There are, yeah, he's very.
Tippin knows everything.
He does.
He loves
Wow.
knowledge.
He likes the know.
He likes to be in the know.
Yeah.
So
It's such a crime that just will never meet
I know. I have
So-
feelings about this.
so 4. With that 4, you notice. I mean, there are Nayati that are based off like sea snakes
Okay.
and stuff like that. So like there are some that are like that. There's some like really really ancient stuff about like sea snakes in Nayati culture, but it's pretty obscure and everyone's like it's more like the boogeyman type thing.
Ooh.
But again, it's like very very rare that anybody says anything about it. And you want a Mechanica, right?
I did, and I rolled a 5 again.
5.
And
So,
I'm looking to find out if this will continue to bear weight. If it is structurally sound.
it is structurally sound, and you are even able to look through and be like, oh, I know exactly how to work this thing.
Oh, fascinating! I can operate this machination.
I want to crank it. Can I crank it?
I'm never one to turn down a young ex-junior mab scout that wants to take her turn at a new and trying condition.
Thanks, Scout Mistress.
You were a junior map scout.
Briefly. They did crafts, which was better than like fighting, So I liked that better. Can I roll? Should I roll to crank it, or do I just crank it
Roll me a Mechanica.
to 11?
Yeah, crank that sucker to 11.
It is a 2.
A 2?
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's, again, really well made. And you crank it, and there's a...
That's it. Don't go too fast now. You have to, nice and even. There you go. That's it. All right. Now you got your rhythm go.
And you bring up a cage. And the thing is this thing is like you move it, and it's not just one pulley thing. It's like a ton of gears are going. In the fact
the
that
cage?
inside of the mechanism itself. So it's like there's a small gear and a bigger gear and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Meaning with a small crank you can bring up something rather large.
But it's Nayati, not Ardeo.
It's not an Ifriti.
Ifriti?
It's Nayati made. Wow. And it brings up this cage basically, and the cage is like the grating on it is like seaweed, and it's like green tarnished copper seaweed, and it's got like ancient and like clouded glass all over it, over the top of it, and you bring it up, and the moment it stops, there's a and it goes and it screeches as it opens.
This has nothing to do with my own personal fear of sharks, but is the cage dented at all?
No, it's just very, very old.
I just had to check because we're about to go into a chasm.
No, and
How large is the cage?
The cage is it could fit about 5 people.
Oh, so it's like a
5 like humanoid
Okay.
size, like 5.
5 humanoid size. So
Like
5
7 brownies.
5 of Owens.
Okay.
And like 10 brownies. Like,
How many pixies?
oh my gosh, you want to fill that thing with
200.
pixies? Like 1,000, 2,000 pixies
Are
could fit in that
pixies
thing.
shiny at all? Do they have any like shimmery like
That's a good
quality?
question.
I feel like wings slightly depends on
like
the
in the
pixie.
sun?
They go so fast that they reflect light a lot.
Oh,
so like
cool.
it's kind of like how you can bend sound waves, like you can kind of bend light waves if you go fast enough.
Cool.
So when they get going,
Very
side note.
cool. Very, very cool.
Continue.
And it opens with a screechy sound as it opens, and then it settles.
Let's go.
well, it's not the
in there.
turret. In we go.
So you guys jump in.
I'm very proud
Everybody
of you.
would
None of you are shy. This is excellent.
You guys head inside, and it's like the metal is corroded in places. It looks like it has like buildup on it, like sediment buildup has built up around it, as if it's been like filled with water and then back and forth and back and forth. But
Once we're all inside, is there a switch to operate?
There is.
Inside?
At the very center, there
was gonna
is
offer
there
to
is a
turn the
pull
crank
cord
and
of
fly
some
down.
kind. Like you
Pull
reach up
cord.
and you can pull a cord.
All right.
That's all there is in it, though. There's no like buttons or anything
No
like that.
buttons.
Would you like to do the honors?
Of course. I was gonna do it. Thank you. And so I reach up and I
always been this way.
slowly pull it at first to test to see how fast we go.
Okay, so you start to pull it, and as you start to pull it, the whole thing, you hear the front gate like creak, like screech closed, and like that's the first part of it. And then as you continue to pull, it goes zzz, like you can hear it loose slack as you guys are going down.
Okay. Go at a steady pace.
All right, steady pace.
I
I want you to roll me a luck.
Oh god. No, negative.
Okay, so you're pulling, and as you're pulling,
This is usually
you
what
pull a
happens.
little bit harder. Then you're, and you guys go, and you drop a good like 40 feet,
That's a go!
and then you like,
Does Tippin hit the ceiling?
oh yeah.
Oh no.
So
Hang
you
on!
hit the ceiling, and you're like, and it's going down. What do you do?
So I pulled it a little too far. I just like loose.
And you
go
hear
up
the
a
like
little bit.
the screech as
Yeah.
it like kind of puts on brakes, and you guys slow down, and
This is fascinating. And I take out a notebook and I start notating everything that just happened with this device, and I'm sketching it, which Kate Booth, will not be doing because I am not an artist like Frank and Drew and people on our chat, but it
Kate
happens.
doesn't draw.
Hashtag Kate no draw.
Kate, no draw.
so it lands at the bottom. And the moment it lands at the bottom, you let go of the cord, and the door opens.
I take out my light
Yeah, we have our lights. Our
and
sources.
just shine it.
So your light source opens, and you guys are in a giant cavern. You couldn't really see from the outside, but like you look up and you can see like the twinkle of those crystals at the top, and it's way up there. But where you guys are now, you can look out, and it's this vast open cavern in front of you. We're talking like 4 or 5 football fields, like a stadium.
Is it
size.
ornate or is it just like natural?
It's just natural for where you guys are right now. Like you're looking out, and at the far back you see a giant door.
Wait, before any of us take another step, you stay right here, Missy. Feel free to fly around, but don't go too far. It could be dangerous. And as you are still in the cage, I step out to the nearest stalagmite, and I take a little hatchet out of my pack, and I chop off a good chunk of it. That would be a nice weight.
Okay,
And I go into the cage, and I set it on the floor.
nice.
And I say, it may be weight activated, and we would hate to return to and find it missing.
This is why I pay you the big bucks. I mean, usually, sometimes when I have.
Grettie looks
when I
really
have it.
awkward for a moment and doesn't know how to respond to that.
I pay you, okay? I pay you. Anyway.
So you guys can see from where you are, from where you step outside of the cage. You can look back and see that giant door is there, and everything is in this blue, like light blue, violet teal light. And
Can
like
we
they're
see pretty well?
because those crystals are all over
Yeah.
down here. Further back, where you guys are now is very dark, but over there is more light.
I want to chop off a piece of stalactite and can I, on the floor ahead of me, is it just look normal, just like a cavern?
So you shine. Do you want to like look?
Yeah, I
and
want to look. I
roll-
want to
roll
look. Sure,
notice.
roll notice.
I also will roll a notice.
I too would like to roll
Oh,
notice.
that's a 2 for me.
2. So the picture is everyone all of a sudden takes out their lights and are like looking around. And I think the reason you do that is because you take a step and there's a,
Plus 1.
and you put it out, and everyone sees this. There are. At the first look, you're not sure what they are. What were the numbers? You got a
2.
2?
3.
3?
4.
Okay. You look and you're like,
Oh wait, no, it's more because I'm so bad at math. It's a sex.
okay, so you see sex. No, I'm sorry. So
Dialect problems.
yeah. So you look out and you're not really sure
have
what
it
it
on my finger.
is, and you like go down, and as she's going down to like look at this mound that's right next to it, Tippin, you're looking out there and you're seeing that there's a lot of these mounds, and then you are looking and you look down, and both of you notice at the exact same time. You pick up like a breastplate, like you like reach into the dirt and pull up a breastplate, and you reach down and you pull up half of a skull, and you notice that all of these little mounds are bodies, and they're everywhere. Like, but first you're like, oh look at that pile of mounds over there, that mound. they're all completely turned to dirt bodies.
Oh my dirt and stars.
It's okay. We don't know how they died. We don't know if they were put here or
No,
if they
this is the most exciting cave I've been in a very, very, very long time.
But you pull up and it's a breastplate, but it's like mostly rusted away, and it's not really bodies as in bones or anything like that. It's mostly dirt and clothes and items. The bodies are mostly decomposed completely.
Go ahead.
What are you rolling?
I'm rolling a notice to see what I can find in the items category.
All right, what are you looking for?
With the bodies. The first thing that catches his eye. I'm using
Okay.
the what's this
Okay.
disadvantage. So, that's a lot. That is a 5 notice.
Okay, that's a 5 notice. Chat, what catches Tippin's eye first in this field of ancient decomposed bodies? We'll wait as they we're not going to wait as that goes. You guys can start moving as he's off looking around.
I
stuff.
want to switch my goggles to infrared and see if there is any type of heat coming off of these mounds.
Yes.
That sounded so much more dirty than I meant it to, but you all
yes.
know what I mean.
Lots of heat.
Oh,
no,
boy.
A small black box, so dark it seems to drink in the light.
Oh, Tippin would totally pick that up too.
Yeah, you find one of that's the first thing you
Experience
notice,
with it.
and it's about
How big is it? Yeah.
it's about the size of a bucket for you.
Okay, so almost like it would be the size of an engagement ring box or something like that.
A little bit, a little
That's
smaller.
What
than
I'm
that.
thinking the
a little
size
smaller than
was.
that. But it's completely smooth, and it's not a cube. It's like an octagon type thing, and there's no opening it. But it's so dark that light just kind of like goes into it.
Nice find.
It's a very nice find.
So that's what you find. What else are you guys gonna do here?
I just want to move. I want to keep going forward.
Okay.
Do I see any heat anywhere?
So that's right, the heat. You do. You see that the mounds have like heat in them, but it's several heat signatures. Like things have burrowed inside and have now
that's all
made
right
their
then.
homes. There's nothing big or anything like that.
Now, I'm not one to judge danger by size, because I've found in the past that is not a good indication. However, I think we're safe to go through this field as long as nothing wakes anything up.
I'm a few steps ahead of her as she says this. I'm like, what?
Carry on, my wayward girl!
Heard.
I'm gonna say that Owin has a special Tippin pocket.
Oh, she got a
yeah.
little Tippin pouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
For things that Tippin finds, and Tippin definitely
I'm
sticks
gonna
the
say
box in there.
that pouch is big enough for you to go in and like sit down and like it's got like a little
He's got like shelves.
little shelves.
inside.
Like
They're like little smaller pockets within the pocket that
Yeah.
he like puts things into.
you basically have a place you can go and sit and like rest and do whatever you want. So yeah, it's your Tippin pouch.
I'm gonna put my box in there
Okay, sweet.
for later.
On Flitter, there's like hashtags about like do DIY pixie shelves, like how to organize your shelves.
Carry your pixies in pixie pockets.
Pixie pockets.
Like, and look, it has a very elegant pixie pocket as well.
Yeah.
Wood surrounded so they don't get crushed.
Oh.
You spent so much money on it, you don't want to crush it.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's like a phone case.
Yep.
Oh.
Now you're getting it.
Now he's good.
Okay.
Hopefully
so
we never
you
encounter
guys
Silas.
head further, and as you get further into this cavern, you see that it's big. It's it's bigger than you had initially thought it was going to be.
So this is kind of odd, but like I have my special skill, my free skill that I got to invent is called wilding, and it's for those D&D players out there. It's kind of like a survival or like a wilderness role. So I want to use my wilding skill to see if I get like that sense of danger. Like, am I in a bad place to be?
Roll. And Owen's just marching
Yeah,
through.
she's just going.
Every once in a
I'm
while,
like
you'll
looking. I'm like looking at things.
You'll see Tippin zip from one end to another.
Good. So -1 plus 3 is a positive. Wait, -1, 2 plus 1 plus 2 because I'm spelunkering is a +3 total.
+3 total. Okay. So
I could tell
Tippin,
that
Owen's like
when I'm
moving
under
out.
a
Tippin, you're like putting stuff away. Grettie, you go and tell me how you're like looking around. Like, are you?
So I'm going through the different functions of my goggles.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through infrared, and I notice that there's heat signatures, but nothing too big.
Mm-hmm.
And I go through geology, and I see that there's many different crystals in the walls,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing too odd, or no lava or anything like that underneath. And I go through direction and magnification to see if there's any sort of booby traps is what I'm looking for, in case there's anything that might, a water that will suddenly start filling up the chasm, also known as a chasm, and drown us all. That's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing. Okay.
Going through my goggle specs.
So as you're looking around, you do notice that this place does flood. But it doesn't like, the water doesn't rush in here. It basically just kind of seeps in here and then will seep out. And you notice there's a watermark on the wall that it never reaches to where the door is, because there's like you can see there's a staircase.
All right.
This giant ornate staircase that leads up to this giant humongous door.
Great.
But as you're going through things, you happen to like land on one of your functions that can like pick out things. It's just geology, right? Like it can
Geology.
It's just geology then.
Well, yeah, I have dark vision. Dark vision, I suppose, if it was something in a dark part, or infrared navigation and magnification.
Okay, and then the geology one.
And geology.
But as you're going through, you notice that all the mounds, like as you're halfway between the mechanism and the door, and there are less bodies here.
Ah,
They seem to have all been piled at the gate. And the ones that you find are pointed in that direction.
are they pointing in that direction?
No. Like they have fallen that way towards it.
Towards the door.
Towards the door or towards
Towards
Or where we came
the
from.
mechanism.
Everybody freeze. And by everybody, I mean Owen.
What?
Freeze!
Do you stop, Owen?
What? Why?
I think...
Tippin freezes in the air. Just fluttering.
I think we may have a dangerous path ahead of them. Us. Ahead of us.
What's ahead of us? Just the door and the stairs and less bodies.
Yeah, they're in your middle. You're middling in the room, and there's less bodies here.
This is clearly the safer side. There are no bodies here.
But I feel as though something bad were to happen that made them all rush there at once, and not many of them made it.
Do you have any suggestions as to what should we do about that?
Nope, I just wanted you to know and to be aware.
Good to know. And I keep walking
Tippin
forward.
goes up to the door.
Okay.
Now so curious.
So you guys-
It's hurting him.
You guys, so it's that. So the camera angle is that we're panned back, and we see you guys like very small, like heading up those stairs, and it's one of those ba-dun dun dun, like it's the music from the Haunted Mansion, and you guys are like.
Well, that's not ominous either.
So you guys are like heading up the stairs, and as you guys are heading up the stairs, you notice that there are a lot of bodies on these stairs.
That sounds about correct.
And like you're walking up, and they're like piled in like the corners of on this giant staircase.
In my journal, would I know anything about this door and these bodies? that I
Roll
have?
me. I mean, it would be an investigate in D&D. Do you have anything like? Do you have academia or
Investigate is a skill.
I have
Don't
investigate.
have.
and
I have
academia.
investigate.
Roll an investigate.
Oops. Ooh.
Yeah. So 4.
Those dice are being nice.
So you guys are coming up to the door. You guys are like halfway up, and Owen stops, and she opens her book, and she's looking around, and you notice that on the staircase itself are a lot of like, it's again the snake motif, and all that is happening, and you happen to like you're like looking at it, and you wrote down everything you possibly could about this particular job. I'm gonna say that you notice that there's like scratchings. Oh no, not yet. You're looking at that, and you look at the snakes. You look at all this, and there's something ringing a bell about it.
Upside down.
Can I also roll and investigate to
Sure.
see if there is a ghost story in my junior mab handbook
Sure.
that would be related to this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I roll an investigate or academia
It would be
just to think more
Oh,
on
no!
this boogeyman story that I keep?
I am
that
going
I heard,
to have
that I
to
thought
retire
about?
these dice.
Roll me an academia.
Right, so
academia.
that's a -2, and then it's
That's a 5.
neutral.
5
+2 total.
+2 total. I mean, there are in the junior mab handbook, there are several ghost stories. They have popular ghost stories for each race. And one of them is about a.
The human section is a little sparse, but I haven't had many human junior scouts in my time.
The Nayani section has a couple of ghost stories about.
Yeah.
In the chat, give us the titles of some Nayani ghost stories. But one of them is about the Snake King. And it's just about this Snake King and how he got really greedy and he tried to eat the world. And how naughty children shouldn't be greedy, because if you're greedy, you'll become a snake like the Snake King.
Yes, I can't think of anyone who would be greedy and want to acquire a lot of things.
I
Can
hate
you,
that
Owen?
story. I hate that story. My brothers used to tell it to me before I went to sleep to be mean. I've blocked it out.
Well, clearly they weren't on to anything.
You had a 5? 5? So academically, I'm going to say this is what you find. So she's still like looking, she's like going, it's again, everyone's doing their things and it's cutting back to her like flipping through her book because something is bothering in her memory. The 12 drowned humans.
That's horribly sad.
Wait. Try hands that reap.
It
That walks behind the reeds. Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so academically, you go up to the door and you notice that there's
Yep.
scratchings in
Oh,
the
I
wall.
knew it. No.
And the thing is, you can read them perfectly.
What? Okay.
They say,
Oh god.
Tippin, what do you see?
like
Like
you-
flying back and forth.
you're like looking at them, and
Excited.
they're etched. Like you find one, and then you find another, and another, and another, and another, and there's like bodies all over the ground up in front of the door.
So
and
as I inspect them, are they like etched by like nails? Or
I mean, you
like...
can't tell,
Okay.
but they're etched into the door, and there's like, beware, turn back.
What does it say?
Abandon hope. And the thing, yeah, so abandon hope. That's what you're getting. That's what you're seeing. And Owen, you're going through everything, and you come to the very back, and you wrote out all of the things about this chalice and all of the stories behind it and everything. And there's one story about like that bogey character. His name is Draj Laz. Drajlaz, 2 words. And that he was Draj Laz, the covetous. And there's ancient legends about Draj Laz, and they're always bad, but they're always Nayati. And about how he was awful. He was a monster. But in some he's a Nayati, some he's a monster, some he's something else. There's a lot of stories about it, but they all boil down to this one name of Draj Laz. And you find at the center of, there's like, and at the center it just says, etched in these big letter, Draj Laz, in the very center of this door.
Can I tell what language it's written in?
No,
No.
but
I
you can
just
read it.
Hey guys. I'll point it out.
Can
to
I
you. Can
read
you
the
guys
language?
read this?
Being Nayati, is it a Nayati language?
You look, and it's not a Nayati language. It's roll me Roll me an academic. So like, roll me a luck. Roll me a luck.
Okay.
You don't have academic, so roll me a
No.
luck.
Negative.
You look at it and you don't. I mean, the letters are vaguely familiar, but it's not a Nayati language, and it's obviously very old, and you see like the hints of the alphabet you guys use every day, but it's ancient, and you cannot read it.
I can't read it.
Can I roll? I suppose I'll just do a look to see if I recognize it from any of my previous
Sure.
adventures or caves or whatever. I have a negative look.
So the thing is, you have seen this language in places.
Oh, it's not good.
In the deep. In the really deep places you have gone, you find some of these places. And they always give you a weird vibe. You've never been able to read them, and they usually lead to places, or they're like put in there as warnings.
I repeat all of this to you, except instead of the wobbles, I say it leaves me feeling all burrow wobbly.
Burrow wobbly.
I can read it.
What does it say?
It says, well, around it, it says, like,
What?
turn back and abandon hope and help and, like, all these things. But in the middle, the big one says, Draj Laz.
That's just a Pokemon character.
I don't think it is.
I
don't
it's a
think it is
scary
at all.
story that
Why is
Nayati.
it written here?
Because everyone puts scary things
But there's
in front
lots
on
of-
the
there's
doors
lots
in
of
front of their
bodies around.
treasure. I'm sure it was something completely explainable.
All right. While they're talking, I want to investigate the door to
Go
see
for
if
it.
there's a way to open it.
Go for it.
You're like 2 seconds ahead of what you
I'm
was gonna
so
do.
excited about it. 1 + 2 is 3, but I'm in a cave, so it's a +5
All right.
to figure out how to open the door.
So you go around and you start looking at the door, and the door is very large, very thick. There appears to be no mechanism to open the door, but in front of the door,
Is there a pixie door?
no.
Okay.
Not even a pixie door.
That was a good thought there.
So let's say that this is the door, and then there's the staircase that runs down. There's the door.
I know. I'm so used to doing podcasts and not video streams that I was about to go, Drew is drawing, but then I realized that they can see, so I don't have to tell them that.
So that's what it looks like. And there's a pedestal right in front of the door with a big basin
Oh.
in front of it.
Usually in Nayodi temples and caves, a basin is meant to be filled with something liquid-like.
Water?
That would do it. Most likely. It's
would
just a
I-
guess, really.
Would I know how much water to put in it in my from my studies?
I mean, there's these strange runes around the bowl itself and around the pedestal.
Can I read those?
You can.
What does it say?
Oh no.
At the bottom of it, it's, I mean, force me to be poetical. It's basically like an incantation talking about presenting the covetous one with that which he covets, which is all things in abundance.
All right.
John Shively asks, are there dark stains in the bowl? They can't tell.
Is there a locket at the bottom of it?
No.
Just checking.
Is there anything like
It's an empty
anything that
basin.
we can notice about the basin of what might go inside?
What
it?
might go inside of it? Roll to see.
It is a 5.
5. Okay. You know in the stories that Draj Laz in all the stories, like he often shows up in other children's tales. Like the Nayati children will be out swimming in the reef and they come across Draj Laz, and Draj Laz will not let them pass. but they must give everything they have of a particular thing. And it doesn't matter what that thing is, they have to give all of it.
Well, if
All right, what do we have here?
the smart thing would be which one of us doesn't have a lot of something, and for that person to give all of the thing they don't have a lot of.
But we each have to do something.
Can I have an odd?
Yeah.
This is all the money I have. And I drop it in.
You hear it land, and there's this, and you hear it ring throughout the entire place. And the ring continues and continues and continues until the door goes, yes! And begins to open.
And the og is gone.
And you look down, and the Augie's gone.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that's even better. So you dropped it, and you're looking up, and you look down, and the Og has melted, like as if it were water, and become part of the bowl.
Run for it, kids! We're going in!
Go in. Yeah, I go in.
I am very impressed with you. You caught on to that very quickly. And Owen, I've never known you to be such a generous soul before. I might want to be talking with you about renegotiating my contract
Oh,
when
that's
this
a
event is
conversation
over.
for another time, don't you think? Oh,
Look,
what's in
something to
here?
do up ahead. What do we see? Oh, you know,
And?
wait. Before, is it safe to say that before we just barge on through, we're very, very excited about going to the door, and then I put my arms out and stop right on the edge of it.
So you're
Like,
tiny.
slams into
You're
your
tiny. So you're
I
like
do.
at her
Well,
knees.
and the best thing is that he can just fly right over, but it's the principle of the matter. I want to try to stop both of them.
But I think Tippin stops. I think
Yeah,
you,
Tippin will stop for you.
I
Oh,
stopped. I stopped because you hit my knee and you do it all the time. I'm like, ah,
You have a bruise whenever
Grettie,
you go on an adventure.
come on with the arm thing.
I
don't.
just want to make sure that you're safe in dangerous places. It's an instinct. I can't not do it.
I know. And I'm rubbing my knee and looking ahead.
I would like to roll the notice on the space that we are now in.
So the space you are now in is more caves.
Okay.
But they're drier caves from here.
That's not good.
Actually, no, they're not drier. They're wetter caves than what it was before. But
also
there's a lot.
disconcerting.
There's a lot more of that building. So it's like this carved stone floor continues to go, and the walls are kind of still rough hewn, like the ceiling is rough hewn, but everything else seems to be meticulously and beautifully and lovingly carved. And there's snakes and temples and oceans and water scenes are everywhere, and like whole things of stalactites have been carved to look like coral, and so it looks like you guys are underwater in this beautiful Sistine Chapel Michelangelo-esque thing that has been built. But it's still a cave. It still has that feel you have, Grettie, whenever you are in a cave.
I am really awestruck. Grettie is just so entranced with what she's seeing, and I think that she doesn't even realize that she's kind of left Owen and Tippin behind, but she's sort of like she puts her soccer mom arms away and takes a couple of steps forward into the space and just does like a slow 360 looking all the way around. And she is so entranced with what she's seeing.
And this front part is beautiful.
Stunning.
Like there's statues of like ancient like Naiadi, various different types, like in like, you know, the classic like Greek poses,
Olympian.
in the Olympian kind of poses and stuff, and they're all wearing old like ancient garb.
So are any of them pointing to something in particular?
Roll a notice.
Oh.
This is less good notice. It's a 2 notice.
I mean,
will
they're
also-
all pointing in various different
Oh,
directions.
sorry, that's not a 2. Yeah, it's a 2. It's a 2.
They're all pointing in various different directions.
Can I see where I want to roll to notice where we're supposed to go next. See if
So
that's-
this
Or do I
this place is just a giant hallway that
Oh, okay, so
leads
we just-
that leads back, and it leads back into like you guys step down steps. It's that whole in the Mummy when they like turn the lights on in the treasure room. And
Yeah.
and it's like vast and opens up.
Swing, 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 swing.
The moment the door opens and you step forward, you see like crystals begin to like glow in various different places, and it opens up into this giant place. And as you guys are like heading down, like you go down a flight of steps, and there's like a landing with statues, flight of steps, landing with statues, flight of steps, and and as you get further down, the walls begin to have this snake thing run through it that accumulates at the back of this giant like forum almost. And these two snake heads cross, intertwine, and then are at the base of the door.
There's another door.
Yeah, there's another door at the other side.
Can I
I wanna walk
inspect the pictures on the wall
Of course.
to see if there's like in Egypt when you go into temples and stuff, hieroglyphics, they're telling a story.
Yeah.
Is this telling a story or are these just pictures?
Are they art
Roll.
or a story?
Would this be an investigate?
This is an investigate. I think this is an investigate.
Or any scratchings that we can't read, but you can.
Oh, yeah. Also, I would like to keep noticing.
So you're
or,
noticing.
scratching things.
Sure.
That's a 1 investigate.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of information. And so you can't really pick out anything in particular.
And then notice for scratchings.
I'm going to say that we'll just keep it with that.
Okay, cool.
The language is everywhere. And some of it is in such a way that it's more decorative than an actual word, like calligraphy for it.
Okay.
And so you can't really read what they're saying, but you do come to one mural, like on the wall, basically. And like they're like written at the bottom of the statues and stuff like that. But again, it's very pretty and very decorative, so you can't really tell if it's a word or just something pretty. But what you do see is at there is one mural, and it's of the ocean, like an actual ocean. And
Welcome to the open ocean.
thank you,
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sorry.
And at the bottom of it, it does say in that language, it says at the top, it goes, "the water that was." And then at the bottom, it goes, "may we return to it one day." And that's,
I got really sad. I'm looking at the mural.
Wow.
you can't read it, but you do.
But I know, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, you like feel yourself like drawn into it. Like there's that moment in the movie where the camera's behind her and she like walks up and like touches it and is looking at it.
And she's like having emotions even though no one's looking at her.
Because, Nayati and the ocean.
The door. I want to walk up to the door and see if I can figure out how to open it. Notice any keyholes or specific markings that look like an incantation or something like that.
So, I want to see if, because
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You're asking for incantations. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I just
Do
want to
that
walk up to
first.
the door and see if there's an obvious way to open it. Like if there's
The door is open. It's more
the
like an
door is
archway.
open. Oh, okay.
like a
okay, okay.
doorway.
Yeah, it's more like a
Okay.
doorway.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool.
As you get closer, you notice that there was a door,
Mm-hmm.
and it's broken and on its hinges inside of the next room.
Why?
So, is it true that as we have come on this far, there really has only been one path to follow?
Just
it's
one
not
path.
as though we've
There's been
ignored
there's been no divergent paths yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm fascinated. I do want to go and sort of scrape a sample away of the wall just to see like the material it's made of,
Sure.
if I can, and collect it for my own exploration and scientific studies later on.
Awesome. I'm gonna say that you chisel off a couple of flecks of
Great.
From a statue.
Cool. And then I'm ready to move forward.
Yeah, I'm just moving forward.
Okay.
So we go forward.
So you guys.
Shining my light on
Except
different
I'm a
things.
little bit nervous at this point, so it's more like, so we go forward.
I'm like, I feel like we're getting close, so I'm like focused.
How do you feel about
How
this?
do you feel?
What do you think?
Is there a way for me to make this go continuously? This particular one?
Yeah.
Hold
Hold for tech support, please.
because this is a
Tech
great one.
support.
So
We really need that sound guild in Warda.
So you guys go to the back of this beautiful forum room, and you start heading into hallways.
Oh, now they use the hallways.
Oh, now there's hallway. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said
They're in the
anything.
hallways.
So like you walk down a hallway, and then it like branches into two ways.
So, because a junior mab is always prepared, I would have done my research before this, which is one of my aspects. A junior mab is always prepared. I would have done my research as much as I could have on
true.
this cave or whatever. So, is there any sort of navigation map,
Like a map type thing?
or anything that I would have with me to indicate,
The most you expected to
or
find,
a word about the chalice of it's in this
like
place?
you expected to find like maybe a building,
All right.
or you didn't expect to find a temple complex
Oh,
down here.
Would I have anything in my book?
Looking for the air.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You want to roll to follow that air.
that's good.
That's a notice. You're gonna notice where the air is coming from.
Oh man. That's a 1 notice.
Okay, you follow the air. Where
Yeah,
you can.
I follow where the air is coming from, I guess.
Okay,
if
so you
I
guys like
feel
start
a current.
heading down the hallway.
I'm going to use my wilding skill to see if I feel like directionally we're going in a logical place, in
Okay.
a logical way, along with the air that you're feeling. +2 +3 is 5, +2 more because I'm in a cave is a +7
+7.
to get the right direction.
So he's going the right direction, but it's more than that. Like you start feeling that you are heading towards, like all the hallways seem to be going towards a certain spot. Like you feel like the ground is slightly tilted downwards in a particular way, and you kind of, it's nearly imperceptible. To these guys, it's probably imperceptible because you've been so much in caves.
Right.
You know that like this is all leading someplace.
And with my goggles on, one of their skills is navigation. So thinking not in the terms of like northeast,
Oh, does it have
southwest.
depth in it?
It has depth, and so I want to know if we're below that
Oh,
water line.
You are way.
We're
below.
very much fishes swimming with if
So,
we go bellies
yeah,
up.
You're very deep. So you're. I don't think you've. No, you've been deep as this.
All right.
Your record is like 1.5 miles down. That's your record from that one expedition you took. This you're about half a mile down.
All right. All right. They're writing notes to each other.
So
And it was one of those moments.
was one of those
Absolutely.
moments.
It was. Yes.
so what do you guys want to do? You're following Tippin?
Yeah, if he's going the right way.
Tippin's going.
I like,
Okay.
consult my book and see like something about hallways, and
I'd like to keep a lookout for any like noticeable art or words.
Okay. I mean, you come across mosaics, like those Greek-esque mosaics of ocean scenes, water scenes, Naiadi fishing.
Specifically, if I see anything that refers to Draj laws.
As you get further down, everything does.
Okay.
But he's never depicted as a snake.
What has he been depicted as?
Um,
Or has he been depicted?
some sort of, like, he has a crown. And he's, like, dealing out either justice or, like, mercy. He's doing kingly things. And you notice that there's a lot of mosaics about that.
I'm looking towards the end of the hallway. My eyes on the prize, walking
Sweet.
towards the end.
I never get really scared on missions. I mostly get excited by them. But I just want to state for the record and the Voxbox anthology that I'm feeling very burrow wobbly right now.
And as she says that, I want you guys to roll notices.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
3.
3,
4.
4. So, Grettie, you hear it before anybody else. You like whisper, "I'm feeling a little burrow wobbly," as you hear the rustle of scales. As like you guys are basically coming to like a T, and you come to the T, and it leads in left or right, and from the left there's a.
Owen, are you moving over there and standing here behind me at the same time?
Did you hear that?
I did.
No, I'm not moving. I'm not moving and standing behind you at the same time.
Then I think we have company.
Tippin flies towards the ceiling.
Okay, so you land on the. I mean, what do you guys want to do? Tippin goes to the ceiling. What do you guys do?
I dim my light.
Okay, so you did in the light, and now you guys are basically in mostly darkness.
And I turn my dark vision on.
Do you see anything?
Tippin gently raises his hat
To like show a little bit of that
to
like.
show a little bit of light to see if we can see.
Okay, what do you do, Owen?
The sound's coming from the left.
From the left, and you guys are like at that T. So like you're at this T mark, and it's coming from the left.
I want to roll and investigate to see if there's anything in my book about which way to go next.
Okay, sure, roll.
That is a 3.
The only thing that you ever get, like, you weren't expecting it like a temple complex
temple,
down
okay,
here.
right.
Like but basically you know that is not a good direction.
Okay. So I just slowly start going right. I like tap everybody. Oh, I'll tap you. I feel like you
I'd be watching.
You watching. I trust that you're gonna follow me, but I like tap you and like to signal you to go to the other.
I want you
other
guys
direction.
again to roll another notice and take a -2 to it. Because you guys are backing up into
Yep.
the right.
Oh, I was just waiting.
It's a 4.
That is a 6. 7.
All right. You guys notice the trap. So you guys are like stepping back, and I think it's Grettie first. She's stepping back, and you feel the tripwire on the back of your.
Soccer mom arms.
She hits my knee and I go forward a little bit.
Tippin's on the ceilings.
And as you guys are standing there between the trap and over there, you see this giant snake pull around the corner. He's like anaconda size, and he's got the coloration of a poisonous sea snake, like that, like red on black, that sort of thing. As it like comes around the corner very slowly and is now between you and the trap, and we're gonna take a break. So we're gonna take a break. Go for it. Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the break, and we're back now. Everyone's excited. Okay.
Woo.
So last when we left off, you guys were a trap behind you, and you had a giant snake in front of you. What do you do?
I want to use the art of nondescript listening
Okay.
to. This is my art. To kind of follow behind the snake to see kind of where it's heading a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll give like a hand signal to be like, and then zoom
Do
away.
I understand what he's trying to tell me to do?
Roll a luck. Just to roll two.
We have no history between us really, so.
I understand.
Oh, double
You
luck.
understand.
Yes.
Somehow you get the
Gretty's really perceptive.
yeah. You understand. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Sure.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll a stealth. Oh man! But I get lots of bonuses. Actually, yeah, I have 6 of these. I'm gonna reroll.
There you go.
I really don't want to get eaten by a snake today.
Reroll again.
I'm
Okay.
rerolling one last time. This is the last reroll that I will do. It's the same. Okay.
the exact same.
Cool. That's still.
That's why it's called
3.
fate.
That's still 5.
That's great. That's fine. So the snake is paying no attention to you guys. And as you get closer, you notice
I was hoping.
it's blind.
I wondered. I should have.
And it's slithering its way, like it slithers around the corner, heads towards you guys, and then down the hallway. And it just keeps going.
I'm gonna, as quietly as possible, pick up a pebble.
Okay.
Can I find a pebble?
I'm gonna say you got it. You got a pebble.
Cool. Because and I'm going to fly much further down the hallway,
Okay.
past the snake, and I'm gonna drop the pebble and then fly back to these guys.
Okay, so you drop it,
What
and there's
is a
a
hammer through
there's a clack clack, and the snake stops, and it's still for a very tense
don't move
moment,
until the snake
and like
moves.
everyone like holds their breath, and then it goes, and like it circles back around on itself, and comes back to like where. Because it was going down, you went down the other hallway.
I
right?
went down in the opposite direction. I basically wanted to like distract it further away from these guys.
From these guys, yeah. And so
Oh, so you flew over the trap wire, is what happened.
No,
So,
not
like-
past you guys.
So like if
I
okay,
wanna-
okay.
in the
Here.
opposite
I just want to see what so like
Draws.
there's a
Draws.
T there's a T here and then it goes around this corner. The snake came around this corner and was heading this way and then went around this corner.
Oh.
Where did you and you guys are like here.
And we're here. Okay. So snake came from this way and it went this way.
Where did you drop the pebble?
And we're here. I would have dropped it
Oh, okay.
like
so yeah.
further down there.
Do that on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do that on the
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to see?
Would you like to see?
Here.
Okay, so
We're looking at this part.
right here. Snake came here, down here, and down this hallway. We're here. Tippin wants to go further down the hallway and drop it like far enough ahead of the snake that we'll have to travel that way.
Nice. And it does. Well, actually, let me see. Yeah. It completely stops for a very long time and then quickly goes that direction.
Cool. Tippin flies back. He's gonna do this.
Roll a luck, see if you understand him.
Please roll.
It's even.
It's even. So in that sense, you're like, okay.
the chat.
You understand, but it's wrong. What do you understand? What do you think he's saying?
I think he's saying that he wants me to cover my eyes and go forward.
Which you do. So she like,
Cover my eyes.
and you.
Okay.
Which way do you go? Do you go away from the trap? Do you head back to where the?
I go towards the tunnel the snake came
Nice.
from.
Okay, Tippin immediately is going to like grab her by the scruff and like pull back a little bit.
Okay, I mean he's a pixie. It's,
Yeah, just enough to get attention. He's not gonna actually like be able to pull her back.
What do you do?
So I go, I know, my eyes are covered. My eyes
Would
are
I be
covered.
able to cast, that silent spell that we've been
silent-
seeing
yeah,
a
you
lot? Can I cast that around us? That would it follow us?
No, it won't follow
Okay.
you. It's stationary.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What do you guys do? What's
So
going on?
I explained to her. Okay. I explained to her very quietly what Tippin is trying to say, and what I think Tippin is trying to say is that we should walk down the hallway where the snake came from. No.
Cover your mics if you're gonna.
No.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
No. Guys, that snake is blind and has really good hearing, so we should be really quiet.
Got it.
Well, it's a good thing we have this silent spell cast.
Well, she
I didn't
can,
actually do it.
but
Oh.
it won't
I
follow
thought
you.
she did.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. I just meant right now.
For sure.
Can you cast the silent
Yeah. Okay.
spell around
I'll
here?
I'll roll to cast that.
Roll an arcana.
Sorry, go ahead.
That is a 3.
Okay. You cast it.
Okay.
And it's a bubble around you.
Tippin wants to inspect the trap and see if there is a way to disarm it.
All right, go for it. Roll a investigate.
That's a 2.
A 2? I mean, yes. Obviously,
I
the-
am also going to take
you
a
can-
look at this trap.
you can like move the wire. Like, I mean, it's
I'm going to.
so it's Tippin's on the ground. Like he's actually on the ground. And
It's at
like,
eye
It's at
level.
eye level for him, and he's like, he's like walking back and forth. Go ahead, roll
Okay.
while he's looking.
Oh, look at those pluses. It's a plus. Did I say what? I was going to use either investigate or mechanica, and they're both the same. Do
Use
you have a
Mechanica.
preference? Okay, mechanica. So it's a plus 7.
Yeah. So this is what you do. While Tippin is sitting there, like going back and forth, and he goes over to the wall and does that, you just reach down and you disarm it completely.
Oh, great. So what I do is I actually take a little pin out, and I go to a point in the gears, and then I take the tweezers out from before, and I click a thing, and I pull it that way, and then I stick the pin in, and it's ping,
Nice. And it goes slack, and it's fine.
and it drops.
I want you to roll me a luck real quick.
I earned my lock picking badge. It's a -1.
So it's not a good luck.
Nope.
I will save that then.
Oh, great.
So you that's disarmed. What do you guys do now?
Which way do we want to go?
Down the
Let's
hall
go.
of this
Well,
trap.
this snake. Would I have an idea? Okay, so where I feel like I would have an idea of where I'm trying to go. Like if there's like
the
a
fact
room
that, the fact
I'm
that you
trying to
found a
find.
trap here,
It indicates
it
this
indicates
is the way.
this is the correct way.
Okay,
I
sure.
agree.
Yeah. Okay, so we talk about that, and then move forward in that direction while shining light for any more traps.
I still have my light
snake is
dimmed
blind.
at this point.
So you rolled that 7, and that's really good. That's like 3 or 4 steps above it. I'm gonna say you can disarm any. You come across several traps as you're heading down this direction, and you disarm them all.
Oh, okay. So it's a lot of. So it's
Yeah,
a
tell
lot
me how
of
it looks.
Okay, so it's a lot of me trying to be quiet in my whispers, but like also instructing them the whole way through how not to set them off before we come to them.
Tippin is
Or what if
listening
at every-
intently.
at
Like,
every-
he's fascinated right now.
So like every couple of feet, it's like, don't step on a crack or we'll all break our backs. And it's also very much like, Tippin, you must fly lower than that or you're going to set off the darts.
Okay.
And so like
things like that.
It's just this montage of you like disarm trap, disarm trap, disarm trap, and you're
me
like
shushing
you're
you.
like you're just this tiny this little
So
you're like Uncle Traveling Matt, like the like from Fraggle Rock where you like run over, run to the next one, and they're like following behind you as you go.
So Tippin wants to do something because he is trying to learn as much as he can about these traps. One, can he rearm a couple traps in the thoughts
Sure,
of
roll
if
me
the
a
snake
Mechanica.
comes behind us?
Roll Mechanica.
Oh, so once you watch me disarm it?
Yeah, just a couple of them. I just want to like basically undo
Okay.
what she did. I don't have Mechanica, so
Oh, so it's just zero.
Knowledge?
just 0. Is there anything else?
Roll
I
me
could
a luck.
use?
Or an
Cool.
aspect that you could use to +2 it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can finagle an aspect around
Okay.
into it.
So roll me a luck.
All right.
Neutral.
Hold on.
Oh no.
One
no.
second.
I'm not gonna set one off, am I?
We're gonna find out.
So
This is
as
what- what's
you
this?
guys, and I mean,
Oh my gosh, that's so similar to Gist. Wow.
so
Mine's called What Does This Do?
so you guys are so you're sitting there and you're like going through and doing the whole thing, and you go over to one that she disarmed. You go over and you study it and you look at it. You think you got it pretty figured out. You watched her do it, and you go and you touch it, and as you try to you take the wire and you walk over, and you step back, you go back again, and as you start doing that, you put it on there, dust your hands, and walk away.
Oh no.
Wait.
Oh God!
And this giant ball begins to roll down the hallway.
Guys! You see Tippin zip past you
Wait,
guys.
it's running. It's towards. It's
Behind you.
Flip.
And remember, everything's downhill.
Yeah. So it's
So
only
it's rolling,
gathering
and so you guys are
speed.
walking, and as you're walking, Tippin goes, and you guys look back together.
You hear a brief. Run, guys! There's a boulder.
And there's this giant boulder. It's not even a boulder, it's like a cylinder that's made specifically for this hallway. And
Okay.
it's rolling towards
feel
you
like I
guys.
The
Grab
first thing
you.
that happens, I'm already gone. I am booking it. I'm running. So I'm gonna.
Are there more
can I roll
traps?
athletics first.
There are other traps down this hallway.
No.
That's
but-
why I'm saying I grab you and tell you to watch for traps and tell me when to jump over them as we're going.
Okay. All right. So we're doing that and we're running.
Just
so
running,
I'm
just
looking-
run.
Running.
So I'm looking
You're noticing
for
trap,
traps.
jump, and I'm
she's
just like
So roll a
trusting
notice,
you.
and do you have a physical?
No, knife fight.
As this happens,
stealth.
Roll me an Arcanica.
Stealth. Okay.
As this happens, I go. I also have a plan.
Mine's a 5.
5? Okay.
What is mine?
This is exactly what I thought Tippin would end up doing.
-1, but it's a notice, so it's a +5, so +4.
+4?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're noticing traps. You actually
Keychain.
Yeah.
you have water
noticing
come out
the
of
traps.
nowhere and
Change.
pick you up and take
Oh,
you.
cool.
So you're riding this wave
Yeah.
Oh, that's
of
Yeah.
water.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Surfing.
So I say, dodge right, dodge left. While we're
Micah.
doing this, I want you to see if you can carve a divot in the floor that we can hide under, and the boulder will roll over. Duck, and the boulder will roll over us.
I mean, I don't think you can. I mean, you're already doing all your Arcanica to do this water wave.
Yeah.
And
but-
it's keep going. What?
No. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be an end in sight somewhere, or a turn or something.
Yeah, it's coming up. As you guys are going, there's an actual, there's another pit type thing, and then there's an archway at the end of this hallway. But there's traps going back and forth, and you're moving back and forth to get around them.
Tippin
Does he
notice?
make it?
Does Tippin notice the pit? So
Yeah, I mean it's there.
It's like a big
he would
pit.
stop there, wait for them to catch up, and tell them to jump when they got to it.
The pit, is it the boulder behind us? Is it the same size? It's the same size. So we need to get out of the pit.
Okay.
Out of the pit. Can I jump across, or like I guess on my wave I can just like.
How are you holding me?
I think
like
Jump, Owen,
to
jump.
your side?
I think you're
or
on my
like-
back. You're like holding on.
like Yoda?
yeah, like Yoda. And you're like, yeah.
Okay.
I have like straps on
Okay,
the shoulders
so
of my
then
coat. You hold on
While
to those.
that's happening, do I have enough time to roll a craft and see if I can craft my rope into a lasso to get us a rope to the other side of
Roll
the
it.
thing?
Roll it to see if you can do it.
Because after all, a junior mab is always prepared. Oh, +2 +1 is a +3.
I think that's enough for you to lasso yourself over. And like the water drops out from underneath you because you guys hit that. You hit the chasm, and the water doesn't carry you any further.
Right,
It goes
right.
into the chasm, and so before you were carrying her, and now you're like holding on to her as you swing across this chasm. And there's Tippin like on the other side. As you go, and it's slow-mo, as you all are, so like you're all like flying through the air, and as you guys are across, it rolls into it, and then the second one behind it keeps coming.
And what did we
And you guys are
across,
you
what's
guys
in front
are
of us?
across, and
Wait, there
roll
was-
a luck.
Did we know there was 2? I
Roll
didn't
a
know
luck.
there was
I didn't
2.
know there
I
was
always
2.
wondered why there was not 2 in that movie.
Yeah, double luck.
Awesome. So the rope snaps, and as it snaps, you Grettie goes tuck and roll, and you all tuck and roll into the archway.
Tippin's at 6.
Your hat falls off,
No.
and you have to like reach back at the last second. Wait.
I just can't.
You grab it.
And that's why I made you earn your tumbling badge.
Oh yes, it all
Oh my
makes
gosh,
sense
were
now.
you her den mother?
I was absolutely, it's called, oh shoot, I came up with a word for it. I think I said explorer leader or
Oh, yes.
something. I was her leader of exploration.
Oh my gosh, that's
And now she's
a very
my
long
boss.
time ago. And now
okay.
the tables have turned.
Good job, guys. That was
Very
awesome.
heroic. Some thrilling
was-
heroics.
Awesome.
So you guys are no longer in this like temple edifice place. You guys have entered it. There's no light in here. Like you guys that boulder hit that, and there's no way back, and it's just dark in here. Go for it. Oh, you lift it up.
Yes!
And as you lift it up,
You would make an excellent junior mab.
Honorary.
you find that you are you're in a giant room. So you're in another very large room. As you guys are looking over, there's about 15 feet, and that's as far as you guys can see. Is that 15 feet? And this room is more opulent than any of the rooms you've come before. Like the whole wall around you is this mosaic, and it's like in peeling gold leaf. Like the leaf has been like fallen off as time has gone on, but everything's in like gold and in like marble and silver, and those colors are all around you. But there's 15 feet of light, and then it's dark beyond that.
So I want to roll or investigate, I guess, or notice with my geology goggles to see if there's a higher content of salt in this part of the cave.
Go for it.
Just very curious.
What you're doing?
So it was +1, and then I'm gonna do an investigate because I'm looking for something specific. So +3, +2 more is +5.
+5.
Wait, am I still getting my spelunker in bonus?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
Not for
so it's a
this.
3.
So it's a 3.
This is a big room.
There's a lot of. It's a very, very big room. There's some salt in the rock, but what you're looking at, you like look through your goggles, and there is a large concentrate of salt on the other side of this room, like in one place.
Is
Oh
it like?
my dirt
But we can
and
only see 15
stars.
feet ahead of us, right?
Yeah, so she's not seeing what it is,
No.
but it's that
But
whole. She can see that there is salt
Yeah.
on the other
On the
side.
other side.
It's like highlighted. Nothing around it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
highlighted.
Well, that's interesting.
What's interesting?
I think we want to go on the other side. I think, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think there might be a connection to salt water in that room.
Where?
The ocean?
That's what salt water came from.
The picture at the front, it said that they go back
I
to
don't
the
know
ocean.
for sure, and I don't want to get your hopes up, but it's just a suspicion.
All right, here's a word of wisdom, real quick. Salt water is incredibly valuable to Nayati because the ocean does not exist.
Yeah.
And there is some salt water, but it's usually used in like holy rites and important things. It's worth its weight in silver in white steel. It's like finding like a cup of salt water is a treasure unto itself.
Sets you for
And
life.
you're saying you think that there's salt water.
I think there may be at least a connection to it on the other side, but I don't know for sure.
Well, let's go lead the way. Walk towards the salt water, or the concentration of salt.
Okay, so you guys start walking, and as you're walking, you have like the little light. And as you're looking at the little light, you notice that you come across empty containers, like chests and jars and boxes. And as you're walking, there's only about, you keep walking and it keeps doing like 15 feet. So it's 15 feet, 15 feet. And as you look around, these containers are piled like 30 feet high, but they're all empty. And as you step a little bit further, you see that it comes to the edge, a water edge. So like you come to a lake.
Tippin wants to do two things.
Okay.
The first thing is find a container that's small enough for him to like fit his hand into, and like he's gonna wipe the edge and like
Taste it?
taste it.
Okay.
So really salty.
No.
Okay.
You just look and they're just containers.
Then he's gonna go to the edge of the lake.
Mhm.
He's gonna
You could make one your mobile home.
his hand in it.
Roll a notice real quick.
Okay. That's a 4.
4.
Do
So,
I dip my hand in it?
so you're gonna go dip your hand in it, and you're about to, and you notice an oily look to the water.
Wait, oily like wild magic oily?
Oily like wild magic.
Oh god! Tippin immediately backs away.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Nothing.
What are
Continue.
you all excited about, little one?
Don't touch the water.
Well, now I want to.
No, don't touch it. There's wild magic like on top of it.
Oh.
Roll me Arcanica, Grettie.
What? Roll me?
Yeah, roll an Arcanica.
It's a +1.
Okay.
However, I'm going to go ahead and say that adventure is under there, and this is the grandest adventure I've ever been in underground. So that brings it to a +4.
Okay.
Is that what it was? It was a +1 or a +2?
Plus what?
It was +1, so it's a +3.
+3. You know the difference between, you know that there is a difference between tamed magic and wild magic.
All right.
Like, they take wild magic and they tame it, and that's the magic you use in the city.
Oh, all right.
You've never experienced wild magic before. Like, raw, wild magic. You've never come in contact with it before. So him saying that is like, it's like saying, look out for that, wild electricity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I've heard of it, but I have no idea how dangerous it is.
Is the
Wait.
water the wild magic is
I wanna
floating
test it.
on top of it?
I mean,
Or-
all you can see.
Can I roll to-
Roll an Arcanica for me as well.
Tippin's going to find a small, one of the containers. The smallest one he can find, or at least a piece of one, that he can pick up.
Okay.
And he's going to kind of like gently kind of lower it to the water. Where
Okay.
the wild magic is, because he doesn't want to touch it himself. He wants to see what happens
So
when
you
something
find
touches
this lid to like a small like jar, and you place it on
the
top,
size of a shield.
and it goes, and it just kind of floats there on the top,
Is there anything made of leather?
like a.
I'm looking for living material.
Living
What does
material?
it do to living material? Tippin plucks out a hair,
Okay, and you drop it.
drops it on.
You drop it into the water, and the moment it drops into the water, it like sizzles and like catches on fire, but it doesn't burn. It just no longer exists.
Yeah, let's not touch the water.
Well, that was very interesting. Thank you, little one.
But also,
You've earned
very
your assist the
carefully-
elderly badge.
Very carefully, is there a tiny, like, I'm thinking flask, like this size of flask? You think you can get a little bit of that water in there?
I mean, a flask is gonna be for you. It's like,
Yeah.
yay big. Because if it's this big and you're about that big, it's like about this big.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the smallest
Roll
container that
roll
Tippin
me
could
roll me a
think.
note. Roll me a luck. Roll me a luck. See if you can find something.
Because you could store it in her pouch.
No,
Nope, there's nothing. No, you
Oh,
can't. You
There's
can't find
nothing
it.
Darn.
Roll me. What did you roll for the Arcana?
It was a 4.
A 4. So you can see that I mean, you've been to school. They've described to you what wild magic would look like, and this looks like wild magic. You can't tell if it's just on the surface or if it's all the water.
Is there a way to get across? What's ahead of us? Or is
It's
it just like
it-
a lake?
It's a
never-ending?
lake that stretches out, and as you're standing there, you look look left, look right, and on the bank
Boat.
there is a boat.
There's a boat.
And there is a rope that goes from one side to the
Ferry
other.
across. There's a ferry. Not a fey ferry. A boat ferry.
I walk over to the boat and examine it to see if it's like sound.
It's
like
sound.
yeah.
It's ancient.
Yeah.
Old, but it's sound.
Let's get in the boat.
Tippin's gonna fly over. Is
Oh,
the
yeah.
water clear?
I mean,
Or
you'd have to like
cloudy.
you'd have to like get further over it to like
Okay.
actually look into
Tippin's
it.
gonna go a little further over it.
Okay.
To kind of look and see, is the water clear and can he see anything underneath it?
So what you do is, how far out do you fly?
He'll go probably about 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay, I'm gonna say that this whole thing's about a football field long.
Okay.
And so you go out about 20 feet, and you look down, and the water, you can see the bottom, because you're only about 20 feet out, and it's completely clear. But from right where you are, it drops off suddenly,
Oh my god.
and it's just dark. So it's like, oh look, I can see the bottom, and then it just goes completely black.
We only have
Well,
one of these.
I
just get in
think
the boat.
we start to make our way across.
Yeah.
Tippin's going to kind of hover above to see if there's any movement in the water as they go across.
Okay, I want you guys. How are you guys gonna do this? Are you guys gonna
Well,
go?
the rope, we can pull ourselves
pull it,
along
right?
the rope,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So that's
You gonna do it fast? You gonna do it slow? You gonna?
Oh, I see your point.
Oh,
Well, I get in the boat and I settle in to start pulling the rope, and then wait till everyone's ready, and then slowly start, and then go faster as trial and error, nothing's happening, or something happens. And I don't
We're starting out
just start-
cautiously.
yeah.
try not
Okay.
to splash it.
All right, so you guys start heading out. How are you in this boat? So like,
I'm at the
I
I'm
feel
at
as
the
though
back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
and I'm in the front half
okay,
Like your goggles on.
with my goggles on.
and
I'm going to go ahead and put the infrared signature on.
so you guys are heading out there, and you're about halfway across when you turn on the infrared, and you turn on the infrared, and the entire lake goes. There's something incredibly large underneath you.
I can't believe I get to say it. We're gonna need a bigger boat. What? I don't know, but I feel if we lived in a world where rules were determined by the roll of a dice, that might mean something.
So like you can, how does it show up? How does infrared show up? Is it like the red actually, like the heat signatures?
So yeah, it's heat signatures. So it's interesting because in this whole temple, it's been very blue most of the time because it hasn't been very, very warm. We're very much underground, so there's not a lot of heat to begin with.
So when you turn that on, everything has been blue, and then it goes red.
And I think not just red, but like pulsing.
Oh yes.
Like kind of in the sense that like when a body moves on heat signatures, like muscles are more red. So there's like a pulsing happening underneath, which is terrifying.
Okay. So Tippin, you're above. So she says that. What do you do, Owen?
Well, at this point, there's no going back, so I nod at her and go really slow on the boat.
Okay, so as you're doing that, Tippin, you're above, and you are looking down, and you hear her like say that. She's like, and you look down, and you see that the bottom begins to like move.
Hey guys.
Roll me a notice real quick.
Me?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, good. Oh, and that cancels out. 3.
3. So as you are sitting there, and as you see the entire bottom of the lake begin to move, it moves, and out of the way you see gold. It's a completely gold bottom, and then it goes away again as something moves over it. And then coils within coils. And as you guys are pulling across, there's the whole, like something moves over the, like if this is the top of the water, it moves over the top of the water.
Something Nessies.
Something Nessies itself in the water. And like there's like, you feel like the small ripples of that like wash up on the boat. And there's like, you feel like the ripples of it like lap at the sides of the boat.
Okay,
Nothing goes over the top.
Okay. I think at this point I want to roll in athletics to see if I can help her speed this along.
I was just about to say like let's go faster.
Yeah,
let's go faster.
I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can
All right, I want you to
contribute.
roll. You roll 2 and you roll 2.
2.
Yep.
Uh,
So it's not a luck. You're like rolling.
Right.
Together.
Together.
Oh no! And together we cancel out everything.
So you're trying. You're trying to pull.
Wait. Do we get our bonuses at all for
Oh,
athletics?
I don't have
plus
athletics.
4 in athletics.
Oh, that's right.
I am
That's right. So
an
I'm going to
explorer.
take half of it. So
Okay.
2.
Okay.
So that's.
A plus
I
2.
have nothing. Or I
Nothing.
could use my Arcanica, which is
You're just pulling it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's a plus 2, and you guys are trying to pull, and as you're trying to pull, you're both like tipping the boat a little bit. And
Don't
as you're,
rock the boat.
And as you're going forward,
Don't
tipping,
rock the
you're
boat.
sitting there, like looking. You like turn around to look at them, and as you turn to look at them, something begins to rise out of the water, and it's not like a shoot out of the water. It's like the slow rise of something. Sorry, I got excited. And it rises out of the water, and as it rises out, you see it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's not too far behind you guys, but it opens its eyes, and you see this giant snake, like as big around as a semi-truck, and its eyes open, and when its eyes open, it doesn't look dumb. It looks very intelligent, and it opens its eyes and looks left and right, and then right at you,
us.
Tippin, like right at Tippin, and it's.
I go up.
And as you go up, it matches you.
Okay.
And what do you guys do? You guys are, like I said, you're about 3/4 of the way there. You're just a bit further.
I throw my light to a different part of the cave
Okay, so you throw your light.
with all of my might.
Roll in athletics.
Oh no! Oh, it evens out, so it's a +4.
Okay, so you throw it, and there's a, and as that happens, he's looking at you, and and this thing looks
I
over.
use that moment to get like literally behind its head.
Nice. It looks to where that is, and then it crashes straight into that thing, and a wave begins to come.
Can we ride it?
You can try. I mean,
Is it coming
Touch any
like?
of that water.
Okay. I am gonna say that I don't trust this wave. I'm gonna try to stop it with like a wall of
with
ice.
Arcanica.
Yeah.
All right, go roll me an Arcanica.
Or can you just?
Control it.
Yeah.
5. Or no, wait, no, 4. 4.
Okay, what are you specifically trying to do?
Actually, I just want to reverse the wave back.
Okay, so usually what would happen at this, the spell would be you catch the water and you push it that way. It's not that hard.
Too, but I don't want
You
to
catch it and you feel the push of it. It's like the water is 100 pounds, and it feels very heavy, and you feel it reverse in an exponential blast of water, and the water basically wakes itself all the way to the other side, and you feel the recoil of it too, as you took raw magic, which this place is full of raw magic, and you channeled it into the water, and it's a heady rush. You feel so powerful. You just moved tons of water with merely a flick of your fingers. And it washes over like half the wall. And as it does that, it takes you push it that way and you fall into where the water used to be. And as you do that, you see the bottom of this pool is covered in gold and jewels and silver and everything.
Is it continue?
No, it's deep enough that you can't reach down. And
Okay,
grab
that was
it.
my next question.
But you come right up against the side of the snake, and the water comes back and then picks you guys up and moves you over.
Wait, in the direction we wanted to go, or away from the rope?
Roll a luck.
Oh no!
Okay. Just her,
Okay,
because it was her spell.
perfect.
Neutral.
Neutral. I'm gonna say that it puts you right back to where you started.
Okay.
So you're right
wait.
there. So the snake dives into the water and it goes away, but there's waves and ripples everywhere. Tippin, what are you doing?
Tippin is keeping a close eye to where the head of the snake was.
It's under the water.
It's under?
Yeah.
But can I see where its head is still, or does it get too dark to see?
It gets too dark to see.
Tippin's gonna pin himself to the ceiling
Okay, so Tippin is,
and kind of Spider-Man it.
you're trying to get across. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are you guys doing in the boat?
I have a table talk question. So, is it true that Nayeri magic is still balanced by time or thirst or?
Not so much
that-
anymore. Yeah.
Okay, never mind
It's
that.
just water magic.
Okay, because I was then what does this mean? Lots of time. Never mind. Just kidding.
So what do you guys are now
I've returned back to pulling it, and I'm pulling as fast as I can.
both of you roll athletics.
Yeah.
You just have the straight one, so
Yeah. Okay.
I am hefting it with all I have.
2.
Give her the old heave ho! 1 + 4 is 5 total.
5, so we're gonna take hers over the two of you. So basically you're trying to pull, and Grettie, you move her out of the way and grab it, and you're 1, 2, 3, 4, and you pull
I
yourself.
think I start singing a shanty while it's happening.
Oh yeah.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Grettie in her youth, she hauled stuff for
Absolutely. My first job was on the docks.
yeah, on the canals.
It
You
sure was.
And so you guys, I'm going to say that with that 4, you're able to beach this 5. I'm sorry. You beach the boat as the waves lap up the back of it, and this snake thing explodes out of the water, and in this cacophony of waves and waters, it's dripping. It reaches up and it's got the light balanced on its nose. As it drops it.
Oh no, I gave it a weapon.
As it drops, it like looks at you guys, drops it, and the light goes out, and you guys are plunged into darkness. But you're on the other side.
Great.
I quick pull out my light and like look around for the next place to go.
So there's a door. There's not a door, but an archway on the other side of where you are.
I bolt for that.
So you start running for it. Tippin, what are you doing? Because you're like climbing across and it goes pitch black.
But you have your hat.
Okay, so I would like to use my hat to direct the light so it's only pointing at where I'm going and not downwards.
Okay, so you're like climbing.
So I'm
what are
going-
you doing,
I'm-
Grettie?
I'm following my nose in the direction that
So you guys are running. So
we're running.
roll athletics.
Okay.
1.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
-1 plus 4 is a +3.
+3. So you're booking it. Owin, you're trying to run, but the feel and taste of raw magic is like in your head. And you're like, oh man.
I feel like I want to fight it now.
Yeah, you
That
want
raw magic is
Owen.
like making me feel like I'm more powerful than I am.
Yeah.
Fighting that. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're like, oh man. If you could just like maybe get a hold of that a little bit, you could take on this thing. It like permeates your skin and
So I
like
think
your
what
blood.
happens is it's like, that's right, girl, that's right, book it, but that's wait, where did you go? Owen, where are you? Get back here! And she's behind.
So
Running / looking around, like feeling.
what are you doing? You're like you come to where the wall meets the ceiling, basically. You can go no further climbing this way.
Excellent. I start going straight down, just following the wall down to try and reach the floor.
As you go down,
I'll put my hat back.
there is a huge crash as the body of this giant snake throws itself like into the wall.
To shake him off.
To like it shakes the whole cavern. And so you're closer to the door than anyone. And there's light through that archway. What are you doing, Owen? Like you're far behind.
I take out 2 of my knives and try to aim for. Can I see the snake? No, it's too dark.
It's
isn't
too
it?
dark,
It's too
and
dark.
it's
Okay.
black.
So yeah, I just am running towards where she is.
Okay, so
Towards the
you're just
archway
running.
still.
Okay.
Get this way, girl!
So you're heading down. I feel like Tippin, you and Grettie meet as you come down. You guys make it to the doorway. Owen, you're still you're still behind. So you're running and going. Man, as this thing hits the wall again, and you can feel the water. You can feel the raw magic in that water pull like. Displace, and there's a small wave of it coming like towards you. What do you do? Is there anything you're gonna roll?
If it's coming towards me, then I want to reverse it again, back away. The water.
The water?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll an Arcanica.
It is a 6.
Oh man, you turn around and you draw the magic into you, and as you draw it into you, like. You feel this rush. It's like ice water flowing through your veins that turns into boiling water. And you take, how do you want to incapacitate this snake thing?
I want to take the wave and like wrap the wave around, sort of like tornado it, and then push it back out.
So
lake.
like what happens is you turn to this small wave that's coming to you, and you push it back. And as you're pushing it back, you turn just in time to see these jaws, like reaching out for you. And that's when you take the water and you whirlwind males like whirlpool it in midair, and you whirl, and it stops, and it wraps around this thing, and it's snapping its jaws trying to get at you as you push it back, and then push it into the water. And as you push it into the water, is there anything I'm going to say if there's anything else you do, like you totally go Avatar.
Cora.
Is there anything you do for against this thing? I'm going to say that you rolled a 6, which is incredible, and you also have raw magic coursing through your veins. You feel like if you wanted to, you could rip a hole through space and time and bring anything through
its
it.
Head.
You want its head?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes.
Holy cow! Can we like get a close-up cam on that? Just no, it's not that dramatic.
Put it
I rolled luck for this thing, and he rolled.
It doesn't have luck.
He had no luck there. So like it erupts at, like you're in this battle of water against the might of this thing, and it's trying desperately to get at you, and you're pushing it with the water. How do you take its head?
In like one move, I just like take my hand and like swipe it, and a sheet of water just instantly like becomes ice and then slices across its head.
And it takes its head off, and as it cuts through both of it, you see the head fly into the air, and then you don't even move as it's coming towards you, and it lands right in front of you. And it lands, and the eyes are there's still light in the eyes, and then you watch it go dark.
Woo! That was the coolest thing that I've ever seen!
You like just turn around.
Put a crown on my head and call me dare!
That was fucked up.
You,
Owin?
Owen, I want you to roll me a 4 dice real quick.
Neutral.
Okay, so raw magic still courses through your veins. It's still there. I'm going to give you a choice. You can hang on to it, or you can dissipate it and push it somewhere else. If you keep it, I'm going to say you can raise your Arcanica right now. What is it right now?
3.
I'm going to say you can raise it by 3.
I want to keep it.
Okay.
For sure. I'm keeping it. It's
Okay.
It's like a drug.
So you keep it, but in keeping it, you siphon off most of it, and it just goes. But there is one part of you that keeps it, and that's, you got it inside you now. I'm going to say that there's specific circumstances you can use it, which is why you haven't used it up to this point.
Yeah, obviously.
In the game. But if you ever call on raw magic, you can raise your Arcanica to a +6.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna.
For that one spell.
Is there no more raw magic on the lake?
So I'm gonna say that what happens is basically that lands and you guys walk out, because raw magic is bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you can metagame it and like go for it.
Oh no, Tippin just wants to get the gold in the
That's
lake.
at the bottom of the lake.
It's full of water. Yeah, I mean it's still full of.
But
and
Owin can control water and make a little whirlpool.
I feel like I didn't get all of the wild magic.
no, you didn't get all of it.
It's
Like
like
it's not,
pretty
but
laced.
like it's there. And you guys walk into this other room.
Wait, I want to take a tooth from the snake. Oh wait, would it have teeth? Does it have teeth?
It does. It's got.
Can I see if I can like?
It's got fangs.
Can I take one? Is it poisonous?
Does it have venom
What-
like the
can I check that
basilisk?
first?
Can
that
it
we
kill
use
a
in the future?
Horcrux?
Yeah.
So its mouth is open and it's got one fang and it's like EA long.
Make it into a sword.
Do you want to take it?
I do want to take it.
So I'm gonna say you reach in, grab it, and rip it out.
And I'll take that for testing. I'll give it back to you once I'm done taking a look at it and
That's
ascertaining all its abilities.
Can I take a scale?
Sure. You take it. I mean, it's covered. It's
Wait, I'll take
covered in that raw,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, it
raw
is.
magic.
Yeah.
Never mind, I don't take a scale.
Okay, so you guys head into the next room. There, in the next room, is okay. So you walk into the next room, and it's full of light.
Ow!
And on the I'm sorry. So you don't head into the next place. You head into a hallway,
Oh.
and it's this well-lit hallway, and along the walls are a beautiful mosaic that is definitely a story of some kind. And it's written in the language that you can read, and everything like that. Do you guys want to pay attention to it? Do you want to just move
Yeah,
through?
what's
I
the
want to know the
story?
story.
Okay.
Once upon a time.
So the story, as you go through, I'm going to say you guys can look at it and you can get the gist. It's very clear on what it's trying to get across. It talks about an ancient time after the Gods' War. Just as it was ending, there was a Nayadi prince by the name of Draj Laz, who, after the death of Owin, coveted Dare Olgar's spot as Dare, and so he tried to take the kingdom from Olgar. And there was a small war that happened between them, but Dare Olgar was winning, and so Draz Laz went to some dark entity. It's not depicted in any way other than darkness, and called for the power to defeat him. And it changed him into a giant serpent monster. And it made it into this huge monster. And Drazlaz thought in his hubris he could destroy the Dare, and the Dare destroyed him, basically. And in destroying him, he won that skirmish and claimed his right as Dare. And all the other Fae bowed to him because he was able to defeat Drazlaz. And so what the followers of Drazlaz did is they took his body and they brought it deep into the bowels of the earth and placed it in a healing chamber. And there he was healed over millennia and centuries. And they continually brought him, because he was known as the Covetous One, they brought him tribute and continued to bring him tribute and more tribute and more tribute. And many things. And around him they built this elegant, beautiful temple to bring homage to their lord, Drazlaz. Until at the end, Drazlaz, and they even were able to take the chalice of Owin, who that was his job. Drazlaz's job was chalice bearer for Owin. And they were able to steal the chalice and bring it here to the temple. But as they brought more and more, eventually Drazlaz awoke. And when he woke, he was consumed with power and hunger and covetousness. And he ate his followers and killed them and sent a wave of power to destroy all of them. But some were trapped, and they finished the temple. And that's the end of the story.
Does the story say anything about the smaller pet snake that was blind?
No. What it does say is that those that he didn't kill, he turned into snakes.
Just chicken.
So those were like fey people turned into snakes?
Yeah, and then those that were trapped risked their lives to seal the place off, and he was able to destroy them, but they were able to seal the temple until today.
Well, it's a good thing we opened it and walked right in. I'll say this was a good adventure.
Indeed.
And as you guys walk through that hallway, it opens up into this beautiful rotunda, this round room, full of salt water. It's like running from the walls and into the pool, and there's a pedestal, and on that pedestal there is a chalice.
I've never seen anything like this in all of my years.
This is salt water? It's real salt water?
Yeah, you go over, you touch it. It's real salt water.
I have my vials that have the water that I use for my
Don't contaminate
knives.
it.
Don't contaminate it. I'm just going to take some of it. I want to take some of it. I want to fill the vials with the salt water.
Okay.
Put them back.
I'm going to say that you're able to fill 2.
2. Okay.
The other, like, in this whole adventure, most of them have cracked.
Okay.
So,
Fair.
Tippin goes up to the chalice and inspects for traps.
okay, roll me a notice.
That is a 2.
No traps.
Tippin picks up.
Wait!
Oh, wait, he said that. I want you to roll a luck. See if you can stop him in time.
Oh, double luck!
Double luck!
So you're able to, like, wait, and you, like, grab his wings.
Wait! Sorry, I know that's painful. Hang on just a tick over here. Let me take a second. Let me take a second look at that.
Okay.
A junior mab is always prepared. You've done that.
Are
Oh,
you
no.
sure you're always prepared? That's,
A junior mab is always prepared.
Here we go.
So it's a +3 total.
Oh, what are you trying to do?
I'm investigating for traps on the
What'd you
chalice.
get? You got a
I got a 2.
You got a 2?
2. I got
There
2
is
good.
some sort of mechanism, but it's very subtle.
I don't know what this is, and I think it may be Neodian origin. Maybe you could look at it with your watch on magic and see if there's anything you could do about it.
I have an idea. I'll look at it with my water magic. So, should this be Notice or Arcanica?
It's gonna be Arcanica.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you one of these.
Okay.
And re-roll that nonsense. That's a -1. That is a 2, but you know what? I'll say I'll use the wild magic since I'm still really feeling it right
Okay,
now.
you know.
And add 3, so that's 4.
Okay. So
Sorry, that's 5.
I'm gonna. All right. You
That's 5.
tap into it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna say that there's a reservoir of it. Like basically, you couldn't hold all that power, so you had to like let it go. But there's
A pool,
a
as it were.
pool of a reservoir of this power, and you like dip into it a little bit. And when you do, your whole body like you feel it rush, like it's like a 30-foot wave crashing on the shore is what you feel. What do you do?
I walk up to it and like, can I just like?
What do you? What it?
Well,
like the chalice?
the chalice. Yeah, I want to walk up and sense if there's anything. If I were to just pick it up, what would happen? Or if
Okay.
there's any sort of.
So you're using Arcanica you're
Yeah.
focusing your wild magic into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool. So you go and you channel your magic into the chalice, and you feel the magic sucked from you. Like, I want you to roll a luck.
Oh god.
All right, you're able to like stop all of the raw magic from leaping from you. But the magic you put into it, it sucks up all of that raw magic. And then the chalice begins to glow. And as it glows, everyone is familiar with tamed magic, and it is now giving off tame magic.
Now Tippin tries to pick up the chalice.
And it begins to fill with water.
I'm so impressed. I don't do anything to stop you.
Wait, I want to drink the water. Can I drink the water? Would I know if that's a good idea?
I mean, I mean,
That's what Tippin was gonna do
Oh,
anyway.
really?
Yeah, that's
He
what
wants to
Tippin
do
was
it.
gonna do anyway.
We both wanna
He
drink
goes
the water.
towards the chalice. He wants to drink it.
I mean, okay, you both drink it, like you both in tandem, like drink it. You feel all of your aches and pains suddenly leave you. If you had any bruises or broken bones or anything, they seal up.
The bruise on your knee fades away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My knees feel so good right now. Wow. Cool. But you, okay, so we've picked it up then.
Yeah.
It's off.
So you picked it up, and the moment you pick it up, there's a as the pedestal recesses itself. Well, I guess it would lift up, and as it lifts up, there's a as grates fall on things, and then
If only I had a bag of sand.
and the door behind you closes.
Oh, no.
So now you guys are in a room, and it's beginning to fill
Of
with
course
water.
it is.
And dilute the salt water because it's fresh water.
Oh,
That's so tragic. That's very
this is
upsetting.
tragic.
On behalf of your culture,
It
I am very
is.
sad.
Thank you. Can we see any other way out?
Roll me notices. Everybody roll me notices.
Oh, what is that? Oh no, I have a 4.
I like that we all have different colored dice.
3.
Oh, it's okay. I have a 6.
Oh gosh.
Another
Okay. So who got the 3?
I did.
Okay. So you're like flying around now. You
I
like look in
took
the
the
water.
chalice and put it in my
you look in the
bag.
water. Oh, you put it
Yeah,
in your bag.
mhm.
Nice.
Good catch.
You look in the water, and you see that there are vents to the deepest part of the pool that you guys can obviously fit through. 4, there's a teleportation pad.
Ah!
On the opposite, like it's underwater, but there's a teleportation pad. And
A 6.
And sex?
yes. So with the 6, you notice that there is actually, so while they're looking around, you look at the pedestal again, and you notice that there's a hatch for the pedestal, and it leads someplace.
Open that.
I do.
So you open it, and it leads into like a mechanism of some kind, like underneath the pedestal. Like you open it up, it's very mist, and like you look underneath, and there's some sort of mechanism going on down there.
I think.
I mean, I see the teleportation pad, so I feel like I shout, "Teleportation pad!"
Would I see her open this though?
mechanistic room.
Would I see her open this?
Yeah, I mean everyone.
If I saw it, I'd go towards that.
Okay.
How fast is the
Even
water?
in peril.
Oh, like it's starting to
Tippin would
it's
go
starting to
towards that.
get
I
up
roll
around.
a Mechanica to see if there's anything I can understand about the room.
Roll Mechanica, quick.
Oh, it's a +1 plus another 2 makes a +3.
I mean, there's controls. I mean, something happens in this little Mechanica room.
I think we could use this as a device to maneuver around the water in, like a submarine device.
How sure are you?
Not sure at all, really, but that's what makes it an adventure. I think we should do it.
But it's a teleportation pad. We could get out right now. Can I?
Tippin would go inside to check it out.
Tippin! And I follow Tippin because I can't leave him.
What's this? Sorry.
Awesome.
What's wrong with you?
So like you're like, what's wrong with you? And you like get inside, and like and water is beginning to like, and as you are getting like, as you are getting into the thing, you hear a big splash as something comes through the vent, and splashes into the water, and another one,
We close it.
and you close it, and the water rises over everything.
Are there
And-
windows?
Yes, there are. There are like little vents in where you are. It's dry in here, and as you're sitting there, you all look outside, and like there's a
Oh, wow.
there are giant sea snakes that are swimming around in the water.
And I take this moment to go, I think we should all take this moment to recite the Junior Mab Explorers
This is
pledge.
absolutely the last time.
In order to help us guide through this adventure, everyone, all together, come on now. I pledge to explore the Owen, I know you know it.
I pledge
to explore the natural world,
I pledge to explore the natural world.
marvel at its beauty,
Marvel at
Marvel
its beauty.
Clang,
be
clang, as they like.
This is.
And be curious.
courteous to all
And
my
be
sisters.
Did you hear
courteous
that?
to all of my sisters.
Courteous
Say
to
the
the
words.
sisters.
And I pledge to support my troop
I pledge to support my troop
by selling X number of biscuit
by
boxes
selling X
number
number
of
of biscuit
biscuits.
boxes
by the
then-
end of the season.
by the end of the season.
Now, don't you all feel better about yourselves?
We will salute one more time. There we go. There we are. All right.
Look a vein in Owen's forehead.
Tippin
There
loves
are
this.
right times for this, and there are wrong times.
Somebody
for
roll a
this.
Mechanica.
Also, Tippin, make sure to memorize that.
oh no, it's an even, so it's a +2.
+2. Let's see if I'm gonna get higher.
Oh, mine's a 1.
Can I roll? I don't have Mechanica. Can I roll in Academia to see if I can not be able to do it myself, but kind of help direct?
Like know
They-
how
like
to
know
do it.
how
like,
things
right
work.
up-
know how
Roll
things
an
kinda
acad-
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would technically be a Mechanica, but roll an Academia. And I'll see what you can learn.
That's a 4.
A 4. So you get the sense that this is. I mean, you look through it and you're like, well, that might work and that might work, but it's like this is really old, like very, very old, and you don't really get a sense of what works. But you're like, this button. It's a giant red button.
Oh, I pressed that.
So you
Dive into it.
use your giant killer and so he does that, and all of a sudden there's the whole room begins to spin, and then there's
Hold on
there's
to your
a
scales.
it goes and detaches,
Ooh.
and you hear a chain, basically it detaches and then pulls it down.
This is the opposite direction I wanted to go.
But it's away from the snake things.
What goes down must come up.
And as you guys are sitting there,
It's the opposite.
it basically, you don't move anything. You guys are just hanging on for dear life as this thing goes through tunnels. Like it's going up and down and around and through. And you're like
Hold your hands up, it gets better.
it's like, it's scraping across it's a metal chamber and it's scraping across various different types of. So, okay, all right, wait. So you guys are doing that, and you go left. You go right. You go up. You go down. You go to the left. You do a complete 360. And then you jump. And everyone lands. And there's a. And everything is very calm and silent and dark.
Fucking dope.
What do we see out the windows?
I mean, outside the windows is just dark.
Can we
So
shine a light?
He opens the light,
It's so cute.
and like it lights up the inside of this place, and it's dark, but you're obviously not in water anymore.
I think we should try to get out.
Yeah. We can't see anything out the windows. That's for sure, right?
That's for sure.
I reopen the hatch.
So you open the hatch, and there's immediately fresh air that comes through.
Oh,
And
that's a good sign.
And it's hot and
Oh.
humid, fresh air. But you go out and you're in what looks like a very deep. Like it basically, you guys have been brought up to just where the hatch will open, and you can step out. And you're in like a storage room.
Is it a wine cellar?
It is. It is a wine cellar. It's a salt wine cellar.
Ooh, salt wine.
Wait! We shouldn't take any of this. I think I know exactly where we are.
And you guys follow Grettie as she heads up, and you come out into a beautiful manor house.
Oh, the manor house. Forgot about
It's this. You enter into this central hall, this central foyer that is like waterfalls and tropical plants, and it's empty. Everything's covered in like oilcloth.
Welcome to Wavecrest.
And you would know. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forgot what this is.
Wavecrest is House Serene's summer home. No, it's their winter home.
Yes.
It's where they go during the winter.
I'm totally taking salt wine.
Okay.
I take a bottle. I look around and
You're
like,
gonna have
find
to
a
do
good
it while
year.
I'm not watching,
Okay.
because otherwise
Yeah, roll
I'm gonna
a
get
stealth,
really
roll a
upset
stealth.
about it.
Oh no.
Do you have criminal?
Wait,
Wait.
do I
Yeah, I
see
do
her
have
doing
criminal.
this?
Yeah, roll criminal instead.
Do I
Okay.
see her
Which
doing
is
this,
higher,
though?
stealth or criminal?
Criminal.
Roll criminal.
Do I see her doing this?
I mean, she's doing
Wait,
criminal.
wait.
Roll a counter criminal.
Well, I
Roll a notice.
Either way, I have to re-roll this.
Yeah, roll it.
no.
Oh my
No, we're towards the end of the night.
Spend them
Okay.
if you got them.
Wait. Are you going first?
Well, same time.
You gotta, yeah, you go at the same time.
Oh, what is happening here? What does that mean?
Re-roll that one.
Reroll.
This
one?
on the side, yeah.
So, what, it was criminal?
Criminal.
Yeah.
Right, 3.
I would just help you. Notice. 1.
3.
So yeah, you don't notice her take this bottle, this
Like, find
see,
a
I just
good
wanted
year.
to help her and distract.
how in the chat, how old is this bottle of wine? Between 5,000 years old and 2 weeks. Let us know. But you take one, you got one. And like, it's a beautiful house, like absolutely stunning. And you guys get outside and it's beautiful grounds. It's basically a tropical island.
Question.
Yeah.
Any fruit?
Tons. There's like a whole
your
orchard of
first?
tropical fruit.
I find the best looking piece of fruit.
I'm gonna say it's 2,000 years old.
Cool.
It's ancient salt wine.
I'm gonna find the best, most succulent looking piece of fruit, and pluck it and start eating.
I'm gonna say
no.
you come across a field of fruit you've never seen before. It's aqua blue, and it opens like this. And you take one, not knowing what it is, and you eat it. And as you guys are like walking out, he's like covered in like blue stains. And,
Tippin tasted it first, guys. You gotta get it before before it killed Yashara.
and you guys are like heading out. And as you get to, so you guys walk through the island, and there's nobody here. There's nobody on the island, because it's literally, it's like summertime.
I'm still a little nervous, so this whole time we're going, I'm like, and we're walking, and we're not drawing
No one's
attention to
here.
ourselves,
No one is
and
here.
we're
It's
being
out of season.
quiet. And if anyone asks, we're here to get the lady collate some smelling salts.
If
and
anyone
we're
asks, some
walking.
crazy shit brought us here. That's hardly our problem.
So your boat is way out there, but you do find that there are several House Serene boats like sitting at a boat dock.
I pick the nicest one.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're not gonna keep it.
I mean, they can swim out to it once we take this boat to our boat, and then they can swim out.
Just want a little taste, you know?
Alright.
This is
So
a nice
in
boat.
the interest of time,
Yep.
we're gonna say that you guys steal their boat and get back to the shore.
Borrow the boat.
Borrow the boat.
Although if there is anything nice that can fit in Tippin's reach, he would put it in pockets.
On the boat.
Like little things. he
Yeah,
just,
just little
I find
things.
them
just
later.
Like, ooh,
What
and
is
put it
this?
into
Roll
Tippin's
a
pocket.
luck. Roll a luck real quick.
Oh.
One thing. What is it? What is the one thing?
It's
It's a little thing.
It's a very finely crafted pin.
Okay.
With the symbol of
House Serene?
Serene
like
on
a
it.
souvenir.
Sweet, sweet.
We've been here.
You like
have hundreds
you
of
like
them.
pin it to the back of your vest, and it's like the back of like a biker vest. How they have that
Yes.
insignia. You get that on the back. So you guys take the boat. My question is, do you take the boat all the way back to Bellwood Park?
No, we take the boat to our boat.
Okay, so you take the boat to your boat. So you leave
We
their
leave their boat
leave it.
abandoned at the
abandoned out there at this little island.
But I do make sure that I tie it with a safe knot so it doesn't go adrift.
Very nice.
Take
Roll
note
me a
of what
wilderness.
not to use.
Roll me a wilderness real
Oh,
quick.
okay. Oh no, it's a -2 plus 3 is a +1. It's
It might hold.
a knot.
You were hurried.
So
I hurried you.
I'm gonna say everybody gets home. Okay. Grettie, where do you go after this adventure?
After this adventure, I've taken the fang and I'm testing it with experiments
All right.
back at home. So I go back to my office, which is in the same ward that you
Bellwood Park.
are based in.
So you all head back to Bellwood Park.
And I'm working on the samples that I took and notating everything I wrote down. And then suddenly I realized that I'm late for the next junior mab meeting, and I abandoned my work to go get my girls.
Very nice. Tippin, what are you doing at the end of this adventure?
He's going to do two things. First is he's going to fashion something within his hat to hold that gemstone there
Cool.
forever because that was too useful. And then he's going to get his black box and he's going to figure out how to open it.
Okay, so it's you tinkering with that black box, trying to figure out what's going on with it. Owin, you're in your office,
I do tell you that you can come get the fang whenever you want.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. I'll see you soon.
and
It's your fang.
you're cataloging everything, and you're like writing down everything that's going on. And there's a ding ding of somebody coming into the into the shop, comes to your office, and there's a soft knock, and there is an older grizzled fairy, with like a grizzly beard. He's wearing like a bowler hat and like a nice overcoat and stuff like that. He's the guy who gave you the job. He walks in and steps up to you and goes, "So, how'd it go?"
It went surprisingly well.
Well, that's good to hear. Did you?
So well, in fact, and I have it underneath here, and it's all like shined and ready to go, and I pull it out.
He takes it and he looks at it, and he like taps it a little bit and like hears the ring of it and goes, "That's the real deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was it?
How was what?
The adventure."
It was full of thrilling heroics and a few surprises, and one of the better ones, I think. I'll give it an 8. Of all the adventures combined, that I've had, I'd give it a solid 8.
All right. Well, as promised, payment.
Yes.
He pulls out of his pocket 2 white steel almonds and pushes them to you.
So much money.
Thank you. Pleasure doing business with you, sir. Come again anytime.
Anytime. If you ever need an old goat's help, just let me know.
I will, indeed.
And he walks around, and as he's walking away, you hear him whistle.
It's a clever tune.
He turns around and goes, "That's a favorite of mine. My boss whistles it all the time."
I go back to cataloging.
End of episode. Thank you guys so much for coming. That was a great game. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Kate, Frank, and Amy for all that they've done. Thank you so much to JJ and Allie and everyone else.
JJ with the camera shaking.
You guys are great. Please share this with your friends. Share this with everyone. Join the Patreon. Become a part of this world. It's a lot of fun. And look for us not next week, but on the 11th, where we might just do another back game with you guys, with Owin and Embalar, and maybe a special guest. So we'll see next time. And there was something I wanted to say. What was it? This is really important, not just for us as players, but for, I think, us as people. to get out of ourselves and be different people and try to be something different than what we are. I think we get stuck in our heads a lot on life and what we're doing and who we are and what we're supposed to be.
And the world.
And the world in general. And it's nice to get away from that. And that's what this is all about. So thank you for making that possible and for enjoying it with us. And we will catch you on the 11th. Catch you later, citizens.